Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am the DJ Atomica, and we are back with Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. It's hard to say exactly how far into the narrative we are at this point, but we've kind of reached a juncture where the game is forcing us to do a particular thing. We have exhausted all of the other storylines to their, well, for now, ends. There's clearly stuff that's going to happen later, but we can't access any of it yet. Clearly, something else needs to happen first. And with everything else either grayed out or completed, it seems like the only option we have left is going back into the Yako Sakazaki timeline. Last time, we started unraveling a number of story threads that were very interesting to me. First of all, we got Mayo Chozawa, if I'm pronouncing that right, yeah, Mayo Chozawa, out of the warehouse room. We finally got her out. We also learned her curse stone, her curse power. It is... Oh, for the life of me, I can't remember what the actual curse was. Hold on, I can look that up real quick. But the important part is its power. It is... the gameplay guide, I think. Notes on known curse bearers. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. The beckoning light. Yeah, that's what it was. The beckoning light's power is to kill somebody with their own curse power. So this can actually only be used against other curse bearers, and it kills them with their own power. Now, I imagine that also means that the conditions of fulfillment must also be met. This is interesting because it kind of wraps up a discrepancy in the beginning of the game that had been bothering me for a while. So, longtime viewers of this series will know that I am what we call a Yoko truther, which is I am utterly convinced beyond all reason that Yoko Fukunaga is going to be relevant to this story again. Because we are in a version of history where she is alive, as opposed to the tutorial Shogo Okie timeline, where she was murdered. Though, in that timeline, which I am treating as sort of the Aleph of this story, it sort of contains the entire story in miniature. In the Yoko death timeline, a number of things are quite odd about the circumstances of her death. And it was not until last week where we learned the key piece of information that makes it all make sense. What I'm convinced happened is Yoko, in all timelines, was the original person granted the power of the Whispering Canal, which allows you to kill somebody who's walking away from you. This would not originally make sense in the Yoko death timeline because she died via the Whispering Canal. Clearly, like every curse power has a distinctive way of killing someone, and you can tell which curse power was used. Yoko was found dead via the Whispering Canal power. She was seemingly drowned on dry land. This would make sense if she was the original owner, but nevertheless, we find the curse. Shogo Okie finds the curse stone at her feet, and that's how he gets the power and goes on his rampage. That sequence of events always bothered me. That she died via the Whispering Canal power, and the Whispering Canal power was found at her feet and then taken off by Shogo Okie. Last time we learned that Mayo Chozawa has a power that allows a person to kill another curse bearer with their own curse. And that seems to be exactly what happened in the Yoko death timeline. the Yoko death timeline. She tried to flee the scene. Somebody else used the power on her, and she died. Now, exactly how this creates other timeline questions, like how exactly did this curse power find itself in that park in the middle of the night, while Mayochozawa seemingly was captured pretty immediately and brought to the warehouse. That's something that we still need to work out, but that answered a big question mark that I had for a long time. Mayochozawa has also effectively teamed up with Richter and Haru, which is going to be interesting to see. I like those interactions a lot. And the Nejima is accounted for, kind of. Nejima, the mass murderer who got out on, I guess, good behavior, and then got the curse power, it's an extremely specific curse power where, like, you can kill anybody whose name, address, occupation, birth date, social security number. It's a bunch of very specific information about them, but so long as you know all of that information about them, you can kill them. It's a very kind of Death Note-y version of curse powers. But he was cornered on a bridge, took the police investigator's daughter as a hostage, and then he was found dead later, probably killed by his own curse power. And the daughter is still missing. So it's my current suspicion that our daughter has that curse power. Here, let me go back in here, back to the notes on known curse bearers. The Whispering Canal, I'm convinced, is owned by Yoko. The Fool's Procession, all of these are accounted for. The One-Sided Reed, which was Nejima's power, is unaccounted for, but I'm convinced that our daughter has that. So actually, the only power that is unaccounted for is the Taiko of Tsugaru. My bet currently is that it's the Soap Baroness that has that one, but we're going to have to see. All right. Like I said, all of the other routes are grayed out and completed, or not completed, but they are completed for now. So really, our only option now is to dive back in to the Yako Sakazaki timeline. Having regained control of herself, Yako rejoins Mio in their search for the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll so they can stop the curse. However, they find themselves with scarcely any leads to follow. I think they went outside the soap company building. Yeah, start after visit to Hihaku Soaps. We can just reacquaint ourselves with all this. If Hihaku was no good, I don't know if we have any other options. I can also look around for birds. We always have to keep our sights out for birds. I think I got this one already, right? Yeah. Okay, I do have that one. I remember picking it up. Surroundings. Huh? Oh, something's changed. What is it? That person coming this way. Oh, it's you. I don't think you could look more creepy or intimidating if you tried. What? That tall guy? Do you know him? Yeah, from a little while back. Mio, you just know everybody. Mr. Yumioka, over here. Oh. You're Gamyoto's manager, Mr. Yumioka, yes? Good to see you again. Okay, so now this is weird. Because I thought... He mentioned this in the Aleph timeline. But we thought it was a bluff. We thought it was a lie to disguise from his true affiliation with Hihaku Soaps. It turns out that he's used this excuse on more than one person? Or maybe it's true. Maybe he is actually affiliated with a medium named Gamyoto. In which case, Is he affiliated with both that and the soaps? I'm starting to think he's a double agent. But for who? Good to see you again. Miss Kurozuzu. Oh, he seems shaken, actually. Okay, hold on. Hold on. What's going on here? What a coincidence, running into you here. Gamyodo? Yumioka? Okay. See, the scene has changed, so actually the first thing we need to do is look for birds. This sounds insane, but I promise the birds are the most important. I'm convinced the birds are how you unlock the true ending. Okay, I think we're safe on birds for now. And I think that seems like a good thing to do occasionally. Just what kind of person is this guy? All right. You know him, Mio? Yeah, from a job a while back. Okay, same line. You don't seem like he's a little too nervous for just running into an acquaintance. Yeah, I don't think this was intentional. Every time we've seen this guy so far, he's been like the puppet master behind the scenes. He's very deliberate, very intentional, but this seems like a complete accidental run-in. He's been trying to avoid eye contact with Mio since he noticed it was her. Something's fishy. Yeah, okay. How have things been since we last met? If she just stays with her training, she won't have to rely on cheating people anymore. Yes, she has been keeping at it. Cheating people? Miss Kurosuzu, so glad to see you're doing well. I assure you we've had no issues you need to concern yourself with. Aha. I'm pressing on this. You need to concern yourself with, alright? So that line's... I can talk to you again. You gotta tell me what happened. A case from a while back. A family overseeing a reliquary came to us saying they were being investigated by someone suspicious. Investigated? A psychic named Suigen Gamyodo suddenly showed up. She's... Oh! Gamyodo is a she. She said that she had a premonition that something terrible would happen and had to exorcise the temple immediately. Sounds like a cover for a burglary. After they notified the police, I was dispatched there by Paranormal Affairs. I inspected the place myself but didn't see anything wrong, so I sent them away. He acted as Gamyodo's manager during the case. That is pretty suspicious. Apparently she was looking for something there, but I told her that's no excuse for fraud and sent her off with a scolding. And honestly, Gamyodo didn't even have much spirit sense to speak of, which soured my mood on the whole thing. Right, so she was one of those types then. Yeah, he's just kind of in the background listening to us smack talk his employer, I guess. Is employer the right word? I don't know. Well, she's involved in all kinds of stuff, so she may at least be knowledgeable about paranormal objects. Well, unfortunately, that might be the best lead we've had so far. If you have no further business with me, then I'll be on my... Oh, before you go, Gamyodo seemed to know a lot about paranormal objects. It would be a huge help if we could ask her about something. And what might that be? Is she familiar with an ancient text called the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll? Or anything about the descendants of an onmyoji named Seiman Tsuchimikado? Tsuchimikado. I beg your pardon. Miss Kurosuzu, how do you... So you do know about it? I see. If that's what you're after, then that means... Hold it! Don't tell me you're trying to snatch up some innocent schoolgirls this time. Stop right there! Huh? Aha, okay. Not only are plot lines converging, characters are converging. If it isn't Yumioka, what a pleasure to see you again. Mayu Chozawa? What are you doing here? Huh? Chozawa? This investigator here helped me out. You really did a number on me. What do you know? We just so happen to have some business with Hihaku ourselves. Why don't you join us? You can do that much for us, can't you? You work for Hihaku, after all. Depending on how this conversation goes, I won't have to get the police involved. Huh? You work for Hihaku? What's going on? Yeah, this is the part where you bolt, man. This is right now your only option is to run. There's really no way you can refuse, though, is there? You two young ladies must be involved as well. Would you care to join us? Oh, sure. I don't know. I feel like that would be that would be a hard sell as the high schoolers affiliating with this random group of adults. But though I guess Chozawa is part of this, and they were looking for her. Quite the view, isn't it? How long can you play dumb with this many people lined up and wanting answers from you? You'd better just give in and come clean with everything you know. Is that the evil soap salesman? That is the evil soap secretary. Hello, Jazz. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I hope the Saturday afternoon is treating you well. We are... Oh, things are converging. My Yoko True thing has never been more vindicated than it has after last stream. But hello. We've just begun. You're just in time. So, we've gotten Mayu Chozawa out of the soap warehouse. She was kidnapped by this guy and drugged and like with truth serum, I think, and was it got like information about her fiance extracted from her, and it's sort of implied that Hihaku had her fiance, the one big brawny police officer, killed. On top of that, she also has a curse stone that lets her kill another curse bearer with their own curse power. Which, on top of just being kind of a cool power, answers a big question I had had about the original timeline where Yoko died. I'm putting it all together. It's all coming together. The lines are converging. I feel like I'm this close to cracking the case. We're also on the lookout for a document called the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll, which supposedly has the power to stop this whole death game curse scenario. There's a lot that's happened. How are you doing today, Jazz? I should hydrate more consistently. This stream is what I should do. I have a fresh bottle of water. You'd better just give in and come clean with everything you know. Ugh. Okay, so who are we playing as? And God, we have so many people here. All right, again, first things first, we gotta look for birds. I'm not gonna miss out on the true ending because I missed one bird somewhere when I could have looked for the birds. Now, to be clear, I don't know if the birds have anything to do with the true ending, but I'm convinced on principle. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of collecting these birds? First things first, let's think. What does Yako think about this? Wow. Seeing a bunch of adults surround another adult like this is pretty wild. Yeah, it is. It is kind of weird that we're present for this as well. I guess let's just go down the line, starting with the client. She was only introduced as the investigator's client. It's interesting that we as the player know all of these details, but Yako doesn't, so she's just labeled as the client. She's cool. I feel like we wouldn't stand a chance against a full-grown woman like her. What are you trying to fight? What do you mean stand a chance? Excuse me, are you new to all of this too? Oh, I guess I'm kind of just tagging along. Me too. Woman, you have the creepiest eyes I have ever seen in my life. Let's make sure not to get in the way, shall we? Right. Okay. Mio. But Mio is amazing too. Keeping her cool at a time like this. I mean, to be fair, she's, she's worked with the police before. She's basically a consistent consultant on their paranormal team. She must be used to dealing with adults by now. Excuse me, I had no idea that Kamyoto was connected with Hihaku. So I'd just like to ask, was it Miss Yamamori from Hihaku who obtained the Record of Fates and passed it on to Araishi? No, that was not the case. Oh, my mistake. Was it Suigen Gamyoto's doing then? No, it was not. Alright, we just playing 20 questions. We first learned of the Record of Fates from Mr. Araishi. It was then that Miss Yamamori gained an interest, and extended a contract to compensate him in return for his research and findings. Then who was it that activated the Feast of Shadows to call forth the curse of the Seven Mysteries? I gave you my word that we had no part in that. We had learned from Araishi beforehand that something would happen at midnight last night. That is all. Hey, there's no way that's true. Stop lying. I must ask you to please refrain from violence. The most threatening character in this lineup is probably the high schooler. I don't know, Mayu Chozawa is probably pretty threatening too. Hold on, Yako. It's all right. The minute I learned that Gamyoto was none other than the Queen of Hihaku herself, I felt that was the case. Okay, so Gamyoto is just an alias for the Hihaku Soaps Baroness. Interesting. She doesn't have strong enough spirit sense for it. Oh, gotcha. While it is somewhat shameful, if you require proof, then so be it. What? So that talk of supernatural powers was just hot air? I don't think she has zero spirit sense, but even Yako here has more than her. I do? Also, the spirit power lingering in this park has been bothering me for quite some time. Yeah, this is the one associated with the Whispering Canal. The person who died here must have had considerably powerful spirit sense. Shogo Okie? If they were a Hihaku employee, then maybe they should have been the one running things. My, to think Shogo Okie was so talented. At any rate, Hihaku wasn't the mastermind behind exposing the Record of Fates to the world and initiating the Feast of Shadows. I think we can be sure about that. Alright. Alright, I was not expecting you to have so much to say. I'm trying to investigate the rest of these players, people, characters. That's the word I'm looking for. We were introduced briefly earlier, but this flashy-looking guy is a private investigator. I thought they were only like that in TV shows, but I guess they're pretty intense in real life, too. Dr. Kai, I'm just going to examine everyone first before we get to conversations. She's Mayu Chozawa, the fiancée of Hajime Yoshimi, the police officer. I'll have to talk to her about Hitomi later. Alright, that's everyone, right? No, I still need you. He's clearly shaken by all this. I feel like he's desperately racking his brain for a way to get out of this. It's almost hard to watch. Alright, we're in public. Nothing weird can happen. We're done with you. I feel like maybe I should investigate, or I should talk to you next. Now then, I've come to hand over the haunting Clapper's curse stone like I promised. A curse stone? Thank you. I have to admit, I'm surprised that you're a man of your word. But first, I've got some questions about the curse stones you already have. What exactly do you want to know? Earlier you said that Hihaku have collected 6 curse stones already. 6? I'd like to confirm which of the 7 mysteries they correspond to. And why do you need to know that? Because I don't trust, of course. If you really collected them like you'd said, you'd have no problem saying which curse stones they are, right? First, the Whispering Canal. I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. Good, good. And what else? Mayu Chozawa over there has the beckoning light. Yep, you were the one who made sure I got it. What? Unfortunately for you, I don't feel like handing it over. So I don't think it counts as one of yours. Huh. Good to know. Anyway, do continue. Next, there's the ever-burning lantern, which we gave to Hideki Araishi. So you consider that one of Hihaku's, then? Whatever, we'll worry about that later. That's 3. What about the others? Well, the others are... the Foot-Washing Mansion, and the Evergreen Beach. What? And lastly, the Fool's Procession, if I recall. So you claim. How about it, mademoiselle? Hi, hope you're well. I am doing well. Hello, Kixie. Hello, hello. Welcome in. I hope Saturday morning is going all right for you. It's a really nice weekend here. I'm thinking I'm gonna go for a nice long walk after stream. It's beautiful here today, so I'm gonna try and take advantage of that after I finish with this stream. Thank you for the shout out, but of course. How are things treating you today? Is the breakfast burrito on point as always? We are in the middle of an absolute shakedown of a very suspicious character. So many player characters and important characters have all shown up in the same place. Honestly, if we brought the police here, it would be like literally every character all in the same place. And we are absolutely grilling this corporate secretary. It has been so hot here. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. If you're closer to the west side of the country, then yeah, things have got to be heating up for you. It's been a little bit since I've been over to that side, a couple years now. But I did go during July, and it was quite warm. Thankfully, I wasn't in the desert, but I want my spring weather. Unfortunately, spring has been canceled. Spring doesn't exist anymore. We don't do spring anymore. We've changed the atmosphere too much to have a spring. I'm only half joking. I do like the spring weather, though. We're getting some of it here. Like, what did I... 53 degrees Fahrenheit it was when I started stream. So I think it's getting up like to like 70 degrees Fahrenheit today. It's going to be nice. We have been kind of oscillating back and forth between spring weather and winter weather. Like, we'll have maybe a couple days or a week's worth of nice spring weather, and then we'll just get hit with another snowstorm. Or, like, ice will it just be everywhere. It's been kind of frustrating. But, Arizona is all right in the summer? Really? I would have figured it would be super hot in Arizona, because that's like desert. Although, I guess it would depend on the region of Arizona, because I know... I want to say I'm getting my geography right. I think it's northern Arizona is quite green, like the Flagstaff area. I've been to Flagstaff once, very briefly, and it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I would love to go visit Flagstaff again. But, yeah, but I think southern Arizona is like proper desert. Like Black Mesa desert. And I have to imagine that's not all right in summer. That's got to be horrific. That's got to be hellish. So, Arizona, maybe... Flagstaff gets snow. Yes, that's true. It's true. I wasn't there because I also visited Flagstaff during the summer, and it was very nice. I didn't get to see snow because it was, I think, also July. It was a couple years back. Me and my family were doing a cross-country road trip because we had always wanted to do that, and we had, never done it. And we'd finally gotten the opportunity, and so a bunch of us got into a car on the east side of the country and drove to the west side of the country to visit family, and we stopped at a bunch of places in between, and Flagstaff was one of them. And I, at the time, didn't know how green northern Arizona was, and was absolutely taken aback by how beautiful Flagstaff was. So, if you're looking for travel destinations in Arizona, I can recommend Flagstaff. They had a hotel there. Okay, now this is... This is apropos of nothing to Flagstaff, but I remember we stayed at a hotel that had an automatic pancake machine. Not a waffle machine, right? Because sometimes you'll see those at, like, hotels' continental breakfast. You'll, get, like, a waffle iron with some waffle batter off the one side, and you can make your own waffle. No. They had an automated, like, conveyor belt miniature pancake machine in the continental breakfast section of this hotel. It was beautiful, gorgeous, in keeping with the Flagstaff theme, I suppose. You press a button and it just plop, sets down a couple batter circles of pancake batter, and it runs through a conveyor belt, kind of like a motorized easy bake oven, now that I'm thinking of it. And then once it gets to the other end of the box, 2 little mini pancakes just fall out the other end. It was brilliant. These are the wonders of modern technology. We used to be a real country. That's wrong. Those 3 are with Inspector Tsutsumi. When I think of Arizona, I just see the color red for, like, the desert. That was the association that I had with it. Because I had never been out through the desert before. Like, I had been to California a couple times to visit family, but I had taken planes. Yeah, because we've got this... to be fair, America has a lot of different biomes in it, but I feel like that section of the country is just sort of broadly construed as desert, even though a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is, granted, but a lot of it isn't. More precisely, burnt orange. Yeah. I forget... this is going to be a completely different place, I'm sure. But I remember also on that trip, we went to the... it was like Burning Mountains National Park or something like that. Burning Mountains National Park. That's going to be the wrong name. I'm sure of it. I need to Google this now. Bunya Mountains National Park. No, okay, that's definitely not... That's definitely not the thing we went to. I don't know. If I just say Mountains National Park, that's just going to give me so many different things. Desert Mountains. I feel like somehow I'll be able to narrow this down. Desert Mountains, Guadalupe Mountains. God, there's so many national parks. That's good, but it makes it difficult to search. Okay. Well, we went to some kind of desert national park to see the the like brightly colored red and brown mountains out in the desert. That was probably further from Flagstaff than I remember it being. So who knows where that actually was? That could have been in New Mexico. That could have been in Nevada. Did we even go through New Mexico? I don't know. I would need to consult the records. But yeah, I definitely tend to associate Southwest United States with desert, like, until you get to the Rockies in California. So Flagstaff was a nice surprise. That's wrong. Those three are with Inspector Tsutsumi. I gave the Fool's Procession to him myself, so I know he's wrong. There you have it. Too bad for you, pal. Ugh. If our agreement was founded on lies, then I have no duty to hand over my curse stone like I'd promised. Ugh. Meaning the only curse stone you have is the Whispering Canal. Except I'm not even sure he has that. Because again, I'm a Yoko truther, I think she has the Whispering Canal. My friends live, Milestone is visiting... My friend's, comma S, Life Milestone is visiting every national park. She has one of those cute scratch-off posters. That is a cool goal. And a noble one. Like, that's... I think national parks are a really good idea. I think it's great that we preserve wilderness for future generations and for ourselves, quite frankly. It's so much of it is gorgeous and really interesting. And so varied. Like, your friend's goal is going to take them on through so many different terrains. There's no two national parks that are quite the same. And that's part of the beauty of it. It's part of the beauty of nature. I should go to more national parks. Are there any national parks near me? I feel like I live in a very national parky area, but I could be wrong. National parks near me. This is becoming a Google stream now. Also, okay, am I the only one who thinks that the iPhone keyboard has gotten way worse somehow? National parks near me. I feel like I've heard people complaining about this. She loves them? I mean, what's not to love? They're all great. National parks by state? I mean, maybe. There's only 63 national parks? That's strange. I thought there would have been more. This feels like way more than 63 parks. Hold on. I don't think I believe 63. Yeah, sorry about the lack of punctuation. I was typing too fast. No. I'm also, like, not thrilled with the autocorrect and the predictive text that is happening lately. I think that's part of what the problem is with the iPhone keyboard currently, is that its predictive text is worse than it used to be. Okay, I do have some national parks near me. I should maybe try and, like, visit those at some point. I heard somebody say that typing on the, like, current iPhone keyboard feels like typing in a dream. And I feel like that describes it very well. I don't think you have the Whispering Canal, man. I really don't. And it inevitably follows that you used it to kill that young man in Kinshibori Park. Such a horrible act, and to your own employee, no less. No, there you are mistaken. To be entirely frank with you, we do not possess a single curse stone. What? We planned to collect soul dregs using any method available to us, of course, as we needed the right. But committing murder ourselves was too much of a risk. We intended on having others collect the soul dregs for us. Is that so? That seems to be a pretty common strategy, actually. Like, the number of people who have been just like, okay, let's hold off, let's wait for everyone else to, kill some people and collect some soul dregs, and then we'll, take their curse stones from them. That seems to have been the strategy more often than not that most of the curse bearers went with, which makes it all the more hilarious that Shogo Okie immediately went to killing everybody in sight. He said immediately, all right, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to become a mass murderer. Oh, Shogo Okie, you are truly one in a million. I had an iPhone that got run over by a bus when I was crossing a street to go to a restaurant. That sucks. Typing on that one after was a trip. Had a mind of its own. Okay, that I can't blame the phone on. It's working with what it has. It's doing the best it can. I'm pretty sure most of its, capacitive circuits were probably destroyed in the process. The fact that it was even still possible to type on it is kind of a testament to the rugged engineering of those screens. Because they use pretty high grade glass on iPhones, at least. I think it was one of the things that Steve Jobs was very insistent about during the development of the first iPhone. He's like, you really didn't want the screen to be like a cheap plastic thing. He wanted it to be glass. And there were a number of engineering headaches that came along with that, as was pretty common in Jobs era Apple. Therefore, I myself have no soul dregs in my possession. It was our plan to arrange for particularly greedy individuals to receive the curses. And you just let Shogo Okie go? Oh. No, okay. See, this is another thing from the Okie timeline, or as I'm calling it, the Aleph timeline. He, in contrast to everyone else, immediately becomes an unrepentant mass murderer and collects all the soul dregs he needs, and then his stone started glowing, and then he died. Originally, I had misremembered it, and I thought that someone came up behind him and bashed him in the head to take it, but that's not what happened. It's it just started glowing, and then he was dead. So either they cut out him being attacked by somebody, or something, or the curse stone itself killed him somehow for reasons we don't know. Maybe it's a trap, like Mio was saying, but I don't know. I had to take it to get fixed by someone not Apple Store, just to be able to type the passcode in. Oh, yeah, okay. What did they do to it? Did they just, replace the screen, or... Because if it was not accepting things before, what could a third-party vendor have done to it without just fixing the entire screen? I'm curious. I guess I don't know, could you, tape it up to, try and, physically reconnect the capacitive circuits on the screen? I don't know. Unfortunately, this is an area where I don't have very deep knowledge of, I know kind of, sort of how the technology works. I wouldn't be able to recreate it. What? Who knows, but screen and cameras were definitely broken. Alright, they must have done some kind of magic. Whenever it comes to tech, I'm always super leery about third-party vendors and repair people, because, they can do all kinds of weird stuff to a piece of tech that you'll never be able to notice. And so I'm always really nervous to, get a refurbished machine from a third party that I'm not 100% on, or, send it to a repair shop that I'm not sure what they're doing, or, I don't know, maybe I'm being too careful, but I don't know. I feel like with tech, you can't be too careful. Is it possible Shogo Okie came to possess the Whispering Canal because of that? Wait, sorry, I think I read that wrong. Particularly greedy individuals to receive the curses. It is possible Shogo Okie came to possess the Whispering Canal because of that. Ah, but that's not what happened. If my Yoko maxing truther theory take is real, then it was not Okie who originally got the stone. And it's certainly not him who originally got the stone in this timeline. Yeah, it was sketchy, but the Apple Store was being unreasonable. Oh, were they just like, give us $1 million for the repair kind of thing? Or did they just say, we can't fix it, buy a new iPhone? Because I wouldn't put that past them. That's definitely within the bounds of what an iPhone store would do. Just need to bring the Nokia brick back? Absolutely. Honestly, first of all, hello, Lordling. Welcome in. I fully agree with you. The Nokia brick was great. But honestly, I feel like modern smartphones could be like that. They could be that tough if the manufacturers would just stop with this obsessive need to make them thinner. They keep trying to make the phones thinner. I don't get it. I don't want a thin phone. I want a sturdy phone. That's what I want. You can fit more battery in there. The chassis can be stronger. It can be more resistant to damage. It's just... For every engineering problem, I feel like that's the obvious solution, is to just not have as thin phones. But apparently, what do I know? I'm not in the phone industry. I just taken a trip and had special pictures that I hadn't backed up yet, and they were insisting on wiping the phone. What? That is unreasonable. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. How would wiping the phone fix the screen? Were they just saying like, oh, this is a lost cause, just wipe it and throw it away? Because otherwise, I don't see how wiping the phone does anything for like, fixing the screen. It's not about that. They want to make it more brittle so it breaks and force you to buy new ones. That's true. It could be a planned obsolescence thing. It absolutely could be. Hello, Loading. Yes. Hello. That's what I asked, and they were quoting some stupid policy. What, like a security policy? No, okay, you're right. That's very unreasonable. It literally doesn't make sense. Have you seen the smart dumb phones they've been making now? They're like Y2K trendy. I've looked into some of these because I for a while I thought I might have been interested in buying one. Especially the phones that come out of like Japan and Korea. A lot of people over there still have flip phones. Like flip phones are still a popular or like a semi-popular thing over in Japan and South Korea. And maybe other places in Southeast Asia. I haven't done the research on other places, but this is just sort of what came across my timeline. And it's really neat. They still have flip phones. They have flip phones with like updated operating systems. Like there's a version of Android that runs on flip phones that's designed for it, and you can get it. And I thought it was really interesting. I sometimes wonder if that would be a better way of interacting with a phone than the smartphone slot machine that we all have in our pockets right now. I know this only because the HVAC industry is doing the exact thing, and materials are very similar when it comes to the computer boards they put in thermostats and control boards. Oh, okay. So you're also seeing like a sort of deliberate planned obsolescence in the HVAC industry? That's interesting. I mean, it's kind of the natural progression of like, if your industrial economy gets so good that it can start meeting everyone's needs like fully, then how do you keep selling things? You've got to like manufacture artificial needs. There's a cute flip one, but I text so much, so reverting back to the old keyboard hurts my fingers mentally. Yeah, this is the sort of the thing. Whenever I try and imagine like other ways of like mobile personal computing, like I had also thought about there's a couple of videos on YouTube where people will leave behind their smartphone and just have a smartwatch, like the Apple Watch or something, and try and get through their day based on just using that. And in principle, it seems sensible to me that, instead of having this thing that you hold in your hand, have something that's strapped to your wrist so that's easier access. You can sort of do a lot of the same things, but the thing that always gets me is the typing. The typing is like, that's the big hurdle that all of these alternatives to smartphones have real trouble with. Like the flip phones. Although I will point out, back in the era when phones were fun and there were a bunch of different competing designs and everybody was doing these crazy things, there were versions of flip phones that had full keyboards. That was not an unheard of thing. So I don't know, maybe we could do something like that. Like stupid bad. Yeah, this is unfortunately quite common. Innovate cool stuff to sell more instead of just giving us worse versions of what we already like. Honestly, I'm not even saying you need to innovate. Like, it's literally just so much of these things are already solved problems. Like microwaves. Nobody's clamoring for innovation in the microwave space. Because microwaves already pretty much just do what they're supposed to do. I don't know. And just another example of them forcing things to break is that I've been working in HVAC for 15 years now, and when I started, AC and furnaces lasted 20 to 25 years, but nowadays, they only last roughly 10 to 15 years if you're lucky. Is that like... Are you noticing that also reflected in the price? Like, is it cheaper for people to buy? Yeah, I love the idea of something that's simple, call, text, and minor internet access distractions. Microwaves, toasters, yes, toaster's another one. Make my microwave also an air fryer? See, here's the thing, Kixie. There are microwaves that do that. There are combination microwave, toaster oven, air fryers that you can get. They're fairly expensive, I think. But I'm pretty sure you can get them. And it's great. It's just a small box for like one person cooking. It's great. You don't have to heat up a whole oven. You don't have to like make a whole bunch of like, you know, more food than you need. You can just kind of address it as you need it. It's great. It's a good idea. See, Kixie has an idea. Exactly. It's a good idea. Exact opposite prices keep going up. Yeah. I think it's a very unfortunate trend. And I clearly, you know, just from examining the logs, this is a frustration that many people have, and they're very eager to vent their frustrations about this. I myself included. I think, okay, so this is going to seem like a little bit of a tangent, but follow me here. Apple recently announced their new MacBook Neo, which is their new budget laptop. Now, Apple has never done a budget laptop, at least not in my living memory of using Apple products or paying attention to Apple. And it's like, it's a proper laptop, not a Chromebook, not one of these like limited, basically it's just a browser with a coat of paint on it, none of that. It's a full laptop with a full operating system, decently powerful hardware for like $500. And everyone is looking at this like, oh, holy shit, this is going to sell like hotcakes. Because it's just, it does what it's supposed to do for relatively cheap. And like 95% of use cases are completely covered by the hardware that it has. And I think people tend to overestimate how much they actually need to do the things they want to do. And I think that the gaming industry has kind of really played into that misconception where it's like you gotta have the constant top of the line, fresh off the presses, you know, bleeding edge hardware. But most of the time you don't. I mean, for God's sake, Cyberpunk 2077 can run on the Nintendo Switch. I feel like we're not as constrained by hardware as we used to be. Oh, also, we have an ad coming in 2 minutes, everybody. Speaking of enshittification, mandatory Twitch ads incoming in 2 minutes. Buckle your seatbelts. Take whatever precautions you have to take to avoid those. Whew. Okay, I need to calm down. I'm angry. This planned obsolescence talk is getting my blood boiling. All right. Breathe. Breathe, Atomica. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna stretch and hydrate. Gonna go back to lurking. See ya. Thank you very much for popping in. And yeah, thank you for your for the information about the HVAC. That's very interesting. It's interesting to see that it is a common trend across many different sectors. But by the time I became aware of this, he was already dead. I feel like I need to... He possesses the Whispering Canal because of that. By the time I became aware of this, he was already dead, yes. I think when a game comes out and it has to have a high-end brand new CPU to run, in ads and specifically reviews, they become the laughingstock. Yeah, this has... I'd say that's a good thing. I think it's good that these sort of the cultural attitude has started to shift on this, of just like, really? We need, like, the top-of-the-line, like, not even out yet GPUs? Because, like, okay, I know the graphics snobs are going to get mad at me for this. I can't fucking tell the difference anymore. I can't tell the difference. When they turn, like, ray tracing on and off, I can't see a difference. Like, maybe I can kind of see a difference if I'm, like, looking... But I can't say that one is definitively better than the other. Like, I don't see the point. I don't see the point of continuously chasing these graphical upgrades anymore. Also, not to brag, but I don't know if anyone told you, I have Pocopia now. Oh, that's very cool. Is that, like, an invite-only thing? I didn't know that was, like, a... Well, either way, I guess, you know, congratulations. Also, what is Pocopia? I've been hearing all about this. Like, I've heard this name around so much. I have no idea what Pocopia actually is. Yeah, the difference to my eyes is, like, what a pixel... Exactly. I feel like, you know, there was a certain point where, like, back in the, you know, PS1, PS2, Xbox 360 era, there were, like, noticeable intergenerational differences between, like, the graphics fidelity. But past a certain point, we just, like... we've gotten so good, we can't tell the difference from generation to generation anymore. Like, I think we have achieved levels of graphical fidelity where there is no longer a hardware limit on art style. And I think that's the tipping point, where it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, and there's the ad. All right, we'll wait for that to clear out. It's Minecraft X Pokemon. It's a game you can buy, but it's only Switch 2. He's living under a rock. I am living under a rock, unfortunately. I know nothing about Pocopia. If you were here, I'd game share it with you, Kixie. Look at Jazz. Such a generous person. I want Pocopia, but don't want Switch 2. Yeah, I'm also having trouble justifying getting a Switch 2. Just because, like, I'm not sure... Okay, I got the Switch 1. I played exactly one game on the Switch 1. And it was worth it. It was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that was a beautiful, fantastic game, one of my favorites of all time. Personally, I do not regret purchasing a Nintendo Switch just to play that game. I do have Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played it yet, so I'll probably play 2 Zelda games on the Switch. But yeah, just buying a whole nother console that feels like just spiritually so similar to its predecessor, I don't know. It bothers me. I'm not sure I can bring myself to do it. Maybe later if the price of the Switch comes down or like it's on a sale or something, I might pick it up, but until then. Okay, we back. Yeah, so Pocopia is like an open world Pokemon game, like people have been clamoring for I don't know, more than a decade now. It's a joint custody Switch 2 between Mike and I, so he got it now, so I can play Pocopia. Okay, that's it. See, that's the smart thing, is like 2 people coming together to buy a piece of hardware. That's smart. Yeah, there's been a couple games that I've wanted to play on Switch 2. So I don't know, maybe there's enough of a justification for me to get one. Like, I want to... I don't know. See, this is me just hemming and hawing in my head right now. It's like Animal Crossing, but with Pokemon in an apocalyptic Minecraft-looking land. Okay, that second sentence threw me for a loop, I'll admit. I was not expecting the second sentence to follow the first sentence in your comment there. Animal Crossing, but with Hold on. Where does the apocalypse come into Animal Crossing? How is that Animal Crossing? Or is it just gameplay style? I guess that's what you mean. But yeah, Animal Crossing, but with Pokemon. Also, the apocalypse. It's a slice of life daily cozy game in the apocalypse? I don't... You know what? Fair enough. Maybe the Pokemon just got tired of the humans. That's funny. Think of like Wall-E Apocalypse. Wall-E Apocalypse was bad. It was a really bad apocalypse. Everyone was dead. The Earth was destitute and polluted. Plants couldn't grow on Earth. How do you have a Pokemon game in that? What happened to the grass types? No, that is interesting, though. I'd watch that. I should watch that. Man, there's so many playthroughs I need to watch now. I'm not going to be able to play them all. There's a part of me that thinks that I'm going to eventually play Resident Evil Requiem. I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to wind up watching somebody play that. So the premise is that you're a Ditto, and all the Pokemon and humans are mysteriously gone. So it's up to you to revive the land and bring back the Pokemon and hopefully humans too. It's like bitterly cute. Okay, okay. I get you. So it's also kind of like those like environmental restoration games. Like I have played one called Terra Nil, where it's like you start with a completely barren, polluted landscape and you have to gradually sort of reclaim it for life and nature. That's a neat sort of chill game. I don't play a lot of chill games, but that one was cool. I like that one. I don't believe you. Are you really trying to talk your way out of this now? Or do you really want me to believe a Hihaku employee was cursed by a complete coincidence? I mean, Richter raises a good point. It's suspicious, but I have my theories. I already have 20 hours in the game. If I could stream it, I would 100%. Yeah, like Terra Nil. Okay, cool, cool. That's also cool. I mean, it sounds like a neat game. Interesting ideas for the design. I'm glad you liked it since I recommended it to you. Was it you who did Terra Nil? You've recommended me a lot of games over the years, to be fair. It might have been one of those where it's like, you recommended it, but I had also kind of had it on my radar before. Or maybe it was you who just recommended it to me. I don't know. Well, thank you for the recommendation. You called it right. You do have a very keen sense of like which games I would find interesting. Every recommendation you've ever made has been like spot on. So, well done. Tip of the hat to you. Speaking of hats, Richter. That is the truth, whether you believe me or not. It must have been someone else entirely who took Shogo Okie's stone and killed him. Oh, see, you've gotten it all wrong. You've been deceived. You can't not have been deceived because you didn't see the prologue storyline. I have. I know what happened. Yoko has the Whispering Canal, and I think Yoko might have killed Shogo Okie. He sent her away in a taxi cab. I think she might have left and come back to kill Shogo. I think I played a demo of it, and I was like, I love the concept, but the gameplay wasn't exactly my type. To be fair, Exocolonist is peak. Exocolonist is peak, but you've also recommended me other games. Like, you recommended me Stories from Seoul. How many times has it happened where you recommended a game to me, and it's been like, you've called it completely right. I've already had this on my wish list, or I've already been paying attention to this. So, like, even in cases where I've already had it, you've guessed correctly. I don't think you've ever recommended me a game that I was not interested in, either already or after you recommended it to me. Like, so, like, you've You've very well narrowed in on my sensibilities in gaming. The metagaming on the NPC. No, it's interesting because the game loves to force the player to metagame. Like that time where we had to turn off the in-game voice volume to survive a sound-based curse power. Like, the game loves doing this. I keep my ass up for my friends, and I salute you for it. Your work has paid off. You are doing it well. I'm fairly certain that, like, the next couple games that I have lined up might have also been recommendations. I would need to go back and check the records, but we'll see. It must have been someone else entirely who took Shogo Okie's stone and killed him. I have no idea whatsoever whose hands the Whispering Canal is in right now, nor where it may be. Oh, could it really be? Then it wasn't Hihaku who put the idea in Fumichika Nejima's head to get a curse stone either. Nejima? The only ones we've negotiated with are Iwai and Araishi. Interesting. Excuse me, but does that mean you don't know the location of the remaining curse stones either? There's the one that hasn't been mentioned. What about the Taiko of Tsugaru? Yeah, this is the one that even we, as the player, have absolutely no idea where it is. This has not been mentioned, it has not been accounted for. We have no clue about what's going on with the Taiko of Tsugaru. Ooh, good question, my mysterious mademoiselle. I'm afraid we have no information in that regard either. Have you heard enough about curse stones? I have nothing else to tell you. Okay, so this is interesting because it was my suspicion that the Taiko of Tsugaru was in the hands of the Soap Baroness, because she was the only major character that hadn't, like, been involved with, like, physically possessing a curse stone so far. So the fact that they say that they don't have any implies that she doesn't have the Taiko. But he does lie sometimes. We've seen this. This could also be a lie. Alright. Whew, we're back out. You probably have questions too. I'll cut to the chase then. Are you the one who killed Hajime Yoshimi? No, we did not. Don't try and play dumb now. If not you, then who? That much I don't know. While it is true that we were after the information he possessed, he was killed by someone else before we could acquire it. Which forced us to target you instead, Miss Chozawa. And that's why you forced me to talk, and why I ended up with this curse, huh? Indeed. Though I never thought you would escape. That's a fucked up thing to say to someone. That's kind of really messed up, man. Well, it took a couple of miracles, but yeah, I got out. Oh yeah, this is another thing, is that Mayu, in particular, was really receptive to us like metagame interfering as the player. Like, that happened a lot in Mayu's escape. I wonder if that's what the game is referring to when it talks about spirit sense. Like, if we, the player, are sort of the in-universe stand-in for the spirits. Because Mayu has seemed incredibly receptive to our influence as the player. And just what information did Hajime have that you wanted? You really think you can get away without answering now? But... Alright, we've done one cycle. You are also still... I feel like, I don't know, should I be checking for birds each time I come back out here? What's that? Are you a bird? No, you're a piece of trash. Man, I'm so wrecked in this game. I'm just bird crazy. And you know about the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll, too, don't you? If you were researching the Rite of Resurrection and the Record of Fates, then you must have looked into the Yin Scroll as well. That's right. The Record of Fates alone wasn't enough to learn how to collect soul dregs. I'm sure you looked into many things on your own, but how much do you actually know? Who and where Seimin Tsuchimikado's... That's a really tough one for me, apparently. Descendants are... Were you able to find that sort of information with Gamyoto's connections? I can't reveal that. Then would you prefer I expose to the public how Gamyoto is a fraud with almost zero spirit sense? Okay, we're just fully going blackmail now. Cool. Ugh. Fine. I understand. From the results of our independent research, I found that Seimin Tsuchimikado's descendants was Hajime Yoshimi, the police officer. That's right. What? So that's why you went after Hajime. However, Hajime Yoshimi was only carrying a fragment of the whole. A fragment? That's right. He did say something about a fragment of an old manuscript. The location of the Yin Scroll was hidden. This information was split into two and hidden in a pair of talismans, which were then passed down from generation to generation. Okay, so we know Hajime Yoshimi had one, and we know that, I forget, is it Mayuch? No. I think it's the delinquent girl. Yeah, I think it's the delinquent girl. I forget her name right now, but I think that's the other one. Ah, talismans. I see. Hajime Yoshimi was supposed to have one, but it was almost certainly stolen when he was killed. It's possible that he knew the location of the other as well. So that's why you questioned me about the things he inherited. The girl Hajime had been helping recently must have had it then. Oh, Michio's talisman. Yes, Michio Shiraishi was also likely a descendant of the Seimin Tsuchimikado. What? The talisman she carried as a keepsake from her father. We searched for it based on Miss Chozawa's memories. However, Michio Shiraishi was already dead. Oh, sorry. Michio Shiraishi was already dead. That was Richter. Yes. By coincidence, she happened to be closely connected to Mr. Iwai, so we began our investigation there. But he was already dead too. I keep mixing up Richter and this guy. But he was already dead too, leaving you in a quandary. I see. Mio, if we can get both of the talismans... Yep, we'll know the location of the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll. Wow, sometimes the answer is right under your nose. That feels... I don't know. My senses are tingling. That feels like the game's winking at us. I don't like how Haru is hidden behind this. Sometimes those answers are the hardest to find. Alright, bird check. Bird check. I don't think they're going to pull a fast one on us, but... you can never be too sure with this game. The client. Alright. I'm just cycling through all of these people. There's a lot of conversation that needs to happen. Excuse me, Mr. Investigator. What is it, mademoiselle? Would you be willing to give up the curse stone you have? Ah, yes, you have a point. They're too dangerous to carelessly walk around with in one's pocket. However, sorry to disappoint you, that's not possible at the moment. And why is that? Ah, you don't know, do you? Then I'll tell both you and our friend from Hihaku over there. I doubt any of you have attempted it yet. But it seems that curse stones cannot be given to normal people. Huh? What? I actually tested it with the madam here earlier. Even if you give the curse stone to someone else, the curse bearer doesn't change, and the stone eventually makes its way back to the bearer. It's almost obvious when you think about it, seeing as how the curse stones appeared to the curse bearers of their own accord to begin with. But Inspector Tsutsumi has collected curse stones from other curse bearers. Then Inspector Tsutsumi must be a curse bearer himself. Ah. So, from what you're saying, curse stones can only be transferred between curse bearers? And obtaining a curse stone alone doesn't make someone a curse bearer, so they can't use its curse. Exactly. So they aren't quite as dangerous as you think. Is this true? Is he bluffing? Have we seen anything that contradicts this? I can't think of anything, because he's right. He points out that Tsutsumi is a curse bearer, and so that wouldn't be inconsistent. He would be able to collect the other curse stones. But I'm thinking back to the Aleph timeline when Yoko died. She died. If you kill a curse bearer, does their curse stone sort of become up for grabs to whoever takes it next? Because that would allow Shogo Okie to do it. I think I'm still on the Yoko train. I'm still there. As for Hihaku's intention of just collecting the curse stones for themselves, unfortunately for them, it was never going to work. Unless there's a curse bearer among them. That damned Araishi. How could he not know this? That must be why I sensed that I couldn't take Yako's curse stone. I returned it right away when I borrowed it from her earlier. That's precisely how it works, my mysterious mademoiselle. I'll give mine directly to Inspector Tsutsumi later. If you know Inspector Tsutsumi, then I think that's best. Thank you. Okay, we're actually done with Richter's conversations. We've still got some of Mio and Mayu. Fine. I'll let someone else ask you something for now. Alright. Yako, let's keep quiet about the location of the talismans for now, okay? Ah, right. No need for Yumioka to know. That was a close one. I almost let it slip. Oh, okay, I think we're done. I think the game also thinks we're done with this conversation. Okay, I think that's about all we have to ask him. We'll let you off for today, since you went along with all of our questions nicely. A pleasure working with you. We're done here. But the information you have... The hell are you whining about? I said we're done, so scram. That's all our business as well, so I shall be bidding you all farewell. Yes, right. Yeah, she didn't participate in that conversation at all. I mean, we interjected occasionally, for better or worse, but Haru was completely a wallflower for that. Excuse me, Mr. Investigator. Please don't forget about that curse stone. Don't you fret. I'll hand it over to Inspector Tsutsumi like I promised. I'm glad I didn't end up having to give it to that Yumioka. Let's take our leave, madame. With this, we'll be freed from this troublesome curse ourselves. Yeah, no, absolutely not. They're not giving that up. I don't even think Richter is playing the same game as Haru. That lady and the investigator. We should keep an eye on them. Yeah, okay. Mayu, Look, Mayu is quickly becoming my favorite character in this game. She is on top of everything. She is nobody's fool. Agreed. Really? Why? I think they're up to something. Just my intuition, but still. Yeah. I wonder what that investigator really wanted out of all of this. If his goal was getting information about the curse stones, then this might be bad. Oh, right. I got one of those curse stones too. The beckoning light. Oh, right. If you wouldn't mind, would you give it to Inspector Tsutsumi without using it? Yeah, sure. If you introduce me to the cop, that is. I feel like if I keep carrying it around with me, I'll start getting some weird ideas too. I just remembered! Mayu, I have something important to tell you. Whoa, what's with all the yelling all of a sudden? You know a girl named Hitomi Okuda, don't you? Oh, is that the delinquent girl? Really? Hitomi is Hajime's talisman. Right, he gave it to her. So that's accounted for. We just don't have, oh god, I'm having trouble remembering so many names. The girl who was killed. Michio. Michio's talisman. We don't have hers. Yes, he entrusted it to her in a panic just before his death. He sensed an imminent crisis closing in on him, but Hitomi was the only one around that he could ask for help. That's so. I'm sorry she got left with such a big responsibility. That must mean that Hajime got killed by someone who was after that talisman. But since he gave it to someone else, they couldn't steal it like they wanted. I'll have to thank Hitomi for that. I also think it's going to be hard for us to get her to give up the talisman. Yeah, you may be right. It was Hajime's dying request to her. So you two need the talisman for something? Yeah. Personally, I'd like to use the talisman as bait. Then I could get my hands on the bastard that killed Hajime. Please, I promise we'll uncover the mastermind behind all this. They probably have supernatural abilities at their disposal. Please leave them to us. Yeah, we'll catch him, don't you worry. You two are high schoolers. I'm sorry. I know that you're affiliated with the police. I know you're working with the police, but you two are high schoolers. Let's not forget this. Well, look at that. You've got that look in your eyes. The look that young people get that says they'll get something done no matter what it takes. How am I supposed to say no to that? You go find them and give them what they deserve from what they did to my Hajime, you hear? We will. I'm pretty mad at them myself. If punches work on them, I'll give them a good one. Yako is, I guess, the muscle of this duo. She's like, I'm gonna punch the ghost supernatural mastermind. I'm gonna just sock him in the jaw. Now that I can get behind. I'll leave it to you two. Now then, your next move should be to find Hitomi and get that talisman. Though, isn't there one more talisman that you need? Right, but we've got a pretty good idea of where the one Michio had is. We'll have to check with Inspector Tsutsumi about that. We should go back to the school and call him. You got it. Okay, I'll head to the high school now and wait for you there. Perfect. She's grinning. She's happy. All right. All right. This is going to be the one where we start meeting up and conferring with the police. But this is... I have a feeling that Haru or Richter is going to do a turn. Because Haru definitely still wants to resurrect her dead son. I don't think she's given up on that goal whatsoever. So I think she's going to try and prevent this from being stopped. We got two options. We can either go here or here. Let's go here, actually. I feel like this is going to be more of a wrap-up for this section of the storyline, so I think maybe we finish this off and come back to Haru later. Together with Yoshimi's fiancée, Mayu, Yaku and Mio report all they've learned so far to Tsutsumi and the others. Putting all their stories together, they can see their final objective at long last. Yako Sakazaki, 5 p.m. It is 5 p.m. We are getting close to sundown. Komagata High School. Mr. Tsutsumi, this is Mayu Chozawa. Ah, so you're the one. Sumida Police were looking for you. Sumida Police was looking for you. Glad to see you're all right. Sorry, I should have told someone I was okay. I was just so pissed off. Falling right into Hihaku's hands, I got myself into some deep shit. Hihaku seems like they're still up to something. We'll have to make sure they clean up their act, once and for all. Get it? Because they sell soap. Yeah. Good job, Inspector. Well done. Applause from me.
Get it? Because they sell soap.
Nice one, boss. You're really on top of your game today. Stop trying to make me feel better. I shouldn't have said anything. More importantly, Mayu, thank you for your cooperation with Yoshimi. We'll get to the bottom of it, I promise. Oh, you must be Detective Ario. I heard a lot about you from Hajime. I'll be counting on you. Catch whoever did this, no matter what. Alright, who are we playing as right now? Right, okay. Wait. No, we're still Yako. Okay. Whew, that confused me for a second. Alright, bird check. Any birds around here? Hello, what are you? Are you there? Aha! You can't hide from me, Mockingbird 02. That was tiny. I almost missed that. This could be trouble for our future prospects. All right, we've got the entire first row. It's just three. It's just three more bird stickers. Come on. We can do this. I swear to God, if I miss this by like one bird sticker, I am going to flip biscuits. They wouldn't stash two in the same scene, would they? Would they be that cruel? That duplicitous? No, I don't think so. All right, let's go down the line. Jun Ario. Detective Ario was nice enough to give us something to drink earlier. Seeing a detective take time for little things like that helps put my mind at ease a little. I talk to you? Come to think of it, did old man Ashimiya end up getting away? So word's already out, huh? He was cornered, but managed to take a hostage and escape, is what I heard on the radio. What happened after that? So that's all they're reporting. Here's what really happened. He was killed? And the hostage was Tsutsumi's daughter, whose whereabouts are still unknown. Yep. His daughter showing up was a huge surprise. Even Boss couldn't believe it. Damn it, the hell do you expect? No one could have seen that coming. So there's already an emergency search underway for her as a key witness and suspect. I'll be rejoining the search for her after we're done here. Key witness and suspect? But wasn't she a hostage? Could she have killed Neijima and fled the scene? Well, it's just a possibility. If we're talking possibilities, might as well tell them everything. It's very likely that Neijima was killed by a curse stone. What? curse bearer. Oh, it's already evening, so the effect of the Feast of Shadows would be starting to return. Yeah, which makes it likely that a curse was used to kill him. Boss, you're repeating yourself. Try to calm down for a sec. But that would mean the inspector's daughter is probably a curse bearer, right? Huh? Did you say something? Maybe I'm losing my hearing in my old age. Boss, you can hear just fine. Don't play the old man card every time you want to get out of something. We even talked about how she might have the Taiko of Tsugaru if that's the case. Did we? My memory's a little hazy. You've got a soft spot for your daughter, don't you, Inspector? Grr. That's not a grr face. That's not the sound you make when you make that face. Grr. He's pouting. It just hits a little close to home now. But either way, we'll have to find her as soon as possible. Alright, I guess we just keep talking. Actually, surroundings first. What's going on? They've all but finished investigating the crime scene, and the police have mostly left. But they're letting us use the school as our base of communications, as per Inspector Tsutsumi's request. Yeah, okay, I figured. More talk. We're joining the search as soon as we're done here. One more thing. There's a very good chance that his daughter has Michio Shiraishi's talisman. All the more reason for you to get back to that search. Best of luck. What the hell has she gotten herself into? Alright, what do you have to say, Tetsuo? I bet he's making jokes and stuff at a time like this because he doesn't want to stress us out. I wonder if he's able to stay so calm because of experience, or if he's just that kind of person. Talk. Ah, I heard you had a curse stone too. Yeah, I should give it to you then, right? These things really are a pain in the ass. I'll gladly hand it over to you before it starts giving me any crazy ideas. So this is the beckoning light, huh? Alright, it's safe and sound with me. Sorry you won't be able to bring him back. Don't worry about it. He and I were always prepared for the worst anyway. What the? What's wrong? Damn! The trigger for the beckoning light's curse is some serious shit. Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I said it'd give me weird ideas. See what I mean now? How's it work? I'll leave you a note you can read later. We have more important things to worry about now. Right. Mr. Tsutsumi, does that make it 5 curse stones that you've gathered now? Should be. I want to get the other 4 under wraps soon as we can. Let's see. I have no idea about the Whispering Canal. I do. Player here. I know where the Whispering Canal is. I think. I can't tell you this now, apparently. Someone made off with a one-sided reed which Nejima had. Yeah. Damn shame. After that, you said earlier that the Taiko of Tsugaru might be with your daughter, Inspector. Hand raise. Teacher, I know the answer. Me. Pick me. Call on me, teacher. I know where the Whispering Canal is. Some habits never leave us. Some are just ingrained in our soul, and will not be left without severe effort. Hey, look, if it works, it works. Well, let's set that aside. Set that one aside for now. So, we can assume the curse bearers are still prowling around out here with those ones. What a headache. Hopefully I can find them soon. Alright, so... Now, I'm actually just going to go back in and check this. No, not story chart. No. Go away. Gameplay guide. Notes on known curse bearers. Like, so much of this have to be in Tetsuo's hands now. Okay, Mayu Chozawa hasn't transferred the Beckoning Light yet. Haru has the Haunting Clappers. And Tetsuo has basically everything else. The one-sided read is unaccounted for, but it's pretty good odds that the daughter has that. The Taiko of Tsugaru, they raise an interesting possibility that the daughter also has that one. The Whispering Canal, I'm convinced, is Yoko's. And the Haunting Clappers are in Haru's hands, which is... oh, unfortunate, because she is definitely not giving up the quest to bring back her son. No way in hell. Oh, Mayu, did you meet with Hitomi? Yeah, I met her at the spot I was told. She was acting tough, but I think the incident with Hajime has her really shaken up. I briefly explained our situation and had her give Hajime's talisman to me. Here, this is what you're looking for, right? Alright, we've got the Yang talisman. Yes, I believe that's it. Thank you so much. Mr. Tsutsumi, about this. Right. You should hold on to it, Mio. Not like we could use it as it is. Try to figure out what we'll need to do once we get both halves together. Understood. I'll see what I can do. Oh, we can talk more. Do you know where the other talisman is? Yes. Probably. This is Hajime's last job. Finish it for him, okay? We will. Do we have an idea of where the talisman is? I might have forgotten. I guess this is the end of his family line too, huh? All the people who inherited that talisman before him are already all gone. Well, that's a depressing thought. Mayu rushed to Hitomi's place and back for us. She's been trying to appear calm, but I'm sure she must still be in shock. Alright. Let's talk to you. Oh, Mr. Tsutsumi. I received a message from Paranormal Affairs earlier. It wasn't from Nakagoshi, but I had someone look into something for me. So even the desk jockeys are lending a hand. Brings a tear to your eye. So, what'd they say? Right. About the Onmyoji woman who was in Edo at the time of the Honjo incident. She was a person of great beauty and discerning taste, but also shamelessly did whatever she wanted. It seemed to match the person seen in the resentful memory for the foot-washing mansion. Huh. So she must be the one who fought with Seiman over the right. And they found that her name was Ashino. Ashino. Huh. What else? That's all. That's not much help. Oh, but apparently she was quite the powerful Onmyoji. And she died bearing a similarly powerful resentment. It's possible she became a vengeful spirit with a connection to the Seven Mysteries. A vengeful spirit? If any descendants of Ashino or people otherwise closely aligned with her live today, there's a possibility that spirit awakened and possessed them. Yeah, you mentioned before that spirits can possess people who are closely in sync with them. Though of course this doesn't mean the spirit houses her complete personality. Her resentment and her spirit power, those are the parts of her that would have the strongest influence. Since Seiman's descendants are still around in the present, it wouldn't be surprising if Ashino's were too. In might just be desk jockeys, but they wouldn't give us this info if it was only speculation. They must have found some amount of evidence, looking into abnormal phenomena or things like that. Oh, the Feast of Shadows. There it is, our abnormal phenomena. Mio, what do you mean? The person who initiated the curse this time, who we've been calling the Mastermind, they might be possessed by the vengeful spirit of the Onmyoji named Ashino, the enemy of Seimin. Do we have any idea who they could be or where to find them? Like, if you looked at them, Mio, would you be able to tell right away? It's like how I didn't realize that Michio had fused with your consciousness, Yako. Common spirits will leak spirit energy left and right, so I can notice them just by looking carefully. But when the spirits of a higher caliber fuse with someone's consciousness, detecting them isn't so simple. Of course not. That would be too easy. Can't just have it easy every time. I'm sorry, my skills need a lot of work, and I don't have anything else to offer. Mio, that's not true at all. You're fine. We'll make this work somehow or other. Thanks. More talk for you. Basically, I believe the mastermind behind everything is a woman possessed by the vengeful spirit of the Onmyoji Ashino. Alright, it's a woman. Could be Yoko. Could be Yoko. I'm just connecting Yoko with everything. This is true Yoko maxing. It's not just that I believe that Yoko has a part to play in this story, it's that I believe that every unexamined thread leads back to Yoko at some point or another. Is this what they call conspiratorial thinking? Maybe. Does it count if it's only one person? I see. Is this mastermind also the one who killed Hajime trying to get the Record of Fate's Yin scroll? Yes, I think that's very likely. So that's how it is, huh? Then I want you to catch them no matter what. Manifesting, I think, is what you're aiming for. Is it manifesting or is it paranoia? Is there a difference between the two? Probably. There's probably a difference between the two. I don't know. Manifesting could be. Both at the same time. Some linear combination of paranoia and manifesting. Now, is that everything we needed to chat about? If you don't need anything else, we'll be going back to the search. There actually is one thing. Oh? What's that? Just completely hypothetically. Hypothetically, what if the inspector's daughter was the mastermind? I mean, she's a woman. It seems like she was after the talismans. Sorry, don't really understand what you mean. Boss, come on, we've got to look at the facts. But that would mean Inspector Tsutsumi would also have to be one of Ashino's descendants. Oh, right. You're just a normal person, right, Inspector? Unless that's why you're so resistant to the paranormal. See, now that's the face that goes with that text. Don't believe I've ever heard anything about being related to some Onmyoji. Oh. But, well, if you put it like that, her being the mastermind, it's possible. Really? I say possible, but I mean unlikely. Is what I want to think. I don't even want to imagine it. Boss, if we're gonna consider it, we have to do it properly. No dragging your heels about it. No, it's not that. There's something I never told her. Never wanted to tell her. The truth is, she's not my real daughter. Is she the baby that was left behind by Nejima? What? 20 years ago, well, it's a long story, but we took her in when she was just a baby. It's the baby! It's the baby! Do you know anything about her birth parents? You could say I do, I guess, but really, I don't know anything. What's that supposed to mean? I don't get it. Ariel, you heard what I said, didn't you? Just now? About 20 years ago? No. Boss, that can't be. Nejima's... That's right. When we arrested Fumichika Nejima, there was a baby at his house on the brink of death. That was my daughter, Ayame Tsutsumi. She goes by Ayame Tono now. What? Someone had to take care of her. A baby holds no blame for the circumstances she came from. But, boss, according to Nejima, that baby is his former lover reincarnated using black magic. Okay, no, sorry, I forgot to mention this, Jazz. So there was a piece of information that was revealed. There was a piece of information revealed during the bridge conversation with Nejima. So the sort of the Western black magic that he used was because he wanted to resurrect his dead lover. And he did. It was successful, but not in the way that he thought. It didn't resurrect her. It reincarnated her. It brought her back as an infant. And so he was very... Well, yeah, the thing is, he also was not thrilled about this. He was kind of disgusted by it, too. And so he kind of was in denial and kind of neglected the baby until he was arrested by the police, and now Tsutsumi... Right, because he felt cheated. He felt cheated by the black magic, which, oh, go figure. Black magic has unintended consequences. That's not any better. It's not great either way. But yeah, so if his account is to be believed, then that baby, and Ayame Tono now, is the former lover of the serial killer Nejima, reincarnated using black magic. So, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. What? Yeah, this is us. This is chat right now. Yeah, what a twist. Oh my god. I'm not totally sure what purpose that has in the narrative yet, but that is an element that has been introduced to the story. We'll see where this goes. That face is accurate. Yeah, no, that's everyone. Did M. Night Shyamalan write this? Look, I'm convinced that we've still got twists to come. So, for a while, me being the Yoko Maxer, I was convinced that Yoko was the reincarnated version, because the age timeline also lined up. But now I'm convinced that Yoko might be one of the descendants? I don't know. Yoko is a part of this, I'm convinced. Personally, I think that story is bullshit. According to Nejima... My goodness. Yoko baby theory gone. Look, Yoko baby theory may be gone, but we've got plenty of Yoko theories left to cover. I am never without a new Yoko theory. This really is like conspiracism. You can never take from me my Yoko theories. I am dead-ass convinced that she has the Whispering Canal. Like, I think that's all but textually confirmed at this point. It's just a matter of figuring out how that all fits back together. everything except the Yoko Okie storylines have now started to intertwine and are starting to converge. So I have to assume that comes back into it eventually. It's hard to believe from Nejima's behavior, but could it really be true? I've got a few doubts. We have to question whether this Shino woman ever really existed in the first place. There are no records of her, and no body was found. Her name never came up once during the investigation. Even if this woman really existed, I'm skeptical that someone could be reincarnated as a baby through black magic. Is that really beyond the pale? Like, I mean, when the supernatural curses, death games are involved, there's a rite of resurrection, for Christ's sake. Like, what's really off the table at this point? I feel like credulity is a luxury that we can't afford. Or excuse me, incredulity is a luxury that we can't afford here. What if Yoko tried to kill the main guy, but he was the last soul she needed, and so she got killed, the main guy did at the end by the mastermind. I don't know, I'm spouting nonsense. No. I was thinking along similar lines at some point. What really got me to start reconsidering this is I went back and rewatched footage of that first encounter where Shogo found Yoko on the ground dead with the curse stone at her feet. She died via the Whispering Canal power before Shogo ever touched it or got the memories or got the power. So for a while I was confused. Like, it feels like the power went to Yoko first, but then how did she die from her own power? But now we know that there is a mechanism for a curse bearer to be killed by their own power, and that's through the Beckoning Light, this other curse power that Mayu got. So in the original timeline, before we convinced Yoko not to run, she ran. She fled the scene and immediately got killed by her own curse power because she activated the conditions for her own curse power and got killed, I assume, by the Beckoning Light. And then Shogo picked it up. We might be cooking. This part of the Yoko theory, I'm rock solid on. I am fully convinced that Yoko was the original recipient of the Whispering Canal, and that in the Shogo timeline, he failed to prevent her from getting the Beckoning Light used on her, and so picked it up, and he was not the intended recipient. In this timeline, he did prevent Yoko from running away. She wasn't killed by the Beckoning Light. He sent her home in a taxi, and then later was found on the news killed by the Whispering Canal. So I think in this timeline, Yoko kept the stone, came back to kill Shogo, and still is in possession of the Whispering Canal, unbeknownst to anyone. Wasn't there one where someone turns around and it triggers, or is that the running away one? Yeah, that's the same one. If you turn to leave somebody behind, that's the Whispering Canal's trigger. So I am fully convinced that Yoko has the Whispering Canal. Yeah, okay. No, we're on the same page. I'm convinced that Yoko has the Whispering Canal and she's out there somewhere. Which again leads me to believe that she's going to come back into the narrative at some point. It's just a matter of how. All right, with an ad coming in 3 minutes, everybody brace yourselves for that. I agree. No matter how you look at it, a spell with that effect is hard to believe. I don't see why, but okay. Even the supernatural has rules that must be followed. And this breaks the rules how? I don't understand. Sure, whatever. Seems more likely he's deluded himself, not wanting to recognize that a spell he risked his life on failed to work. That's my thinking too. Alright, so they're introducing some plausible doubt here. Maybe Yoko baby theory is back on? I don't know. The more natural conclusion is that the baby is his and she knows, and that she died in childbirth. As long as we don't know Shino's origins, we have to consider the possibility that she could be a descendant of Ashino. Huh. If nothing else, their names are pretty similar. Okay, assuming all that is true for a moment, Ayame getting taken away by Nejima and then killing him? That would mean that she killed her own father. Calm down. This is all still conjecture. But now that Nejima's dead, we have no means to investigate. So regardless of everything, there's only one thing that matters. She's my daughter. As her parent, I'm responsible for her. Nothing can change that. I understand. All right. We should get back to the search. We'll find her and clear up all of this. Yes, sir. The talisman you young ladies are looking for has something to do with this as well. I'd appreciate it if you could help us find it. So if anything happens, please call the police. Unfortunately, we're in the age before cell phones, so we can't just give our contact information. That would make this all a lot easier. We will. I'm worried about Hitomi, so I'm going to head to where she is. I'll be waiting to hear some good news from you all. All right, we're going back out of the story chart. Yeah. This is concluded. This is concluded. Wow, actually, the only option we have is the Haru storyline. All right. We're about to have an ad in 20 seconds, so I might pause before we do this. We'll wait for after the ads. So, I am not convinced at all that Haru has abandoned her aim of resurrecting her child. Sorry, just a funny thought came to me. If the black magic trying to resurrect an adult woman instead brought a child, if she tries to resurrect a child, will she get an adult man? Does black magic just fuck with you in that way? It just never gives you what you want? Alright. Haru and Richter rescue Mayo Chozawa and interrogate her, along with Takumi Yumioka. Yet they fail to gain any particularly useful information about the curse bearers. I don't think that's true. They decide to return to Haru's home when? When? Uh-oh. Okay. The ad is also not starting. Okay, oh, fuck me. It just started. It started as I pressed the button. Haru Shigima, 5 p.m. Shigima Mansion, reception room. We've received an update on the hostage situation. All right, we'll wait for the ads to finish up. God damn it. Why is it always like this? All right, the ad is over officially. Anyway, that's what the notifications tell me. We've received an update on the hostage situation. The 56-year-old male suspect who announced his intent to commit mass murder in Sumida City today has taken a woman hostage and gone on the run. Had taken a woman hostage and gone on the run, but was found by police in a park in Sumida after 4 p.m. and confirmed dead. The weapon the suspect was said to possess was nowhere to be found on site, and its whereabouts are currently unknown. Furthermore, the female hostage was not present, and the search for her continues. Yeah, it's kind of a fucked up situation, huh? Interesting. If it's being reported on the news, then that lends credence to her story. No, you're normal, right? Yeah, I have you already. Ha! Yeah, there you are. Cool. She just came to us then. Girl, what is your deal? What are you planning? Hi. Welcome. I'm gonna think real quick. Well then, how should I proceed? Sup, girl? How's it going? Is this what it's like to be rushing to one's doom? He was quite shaken just moments ago, but he seems better now. You think it'd be harder for him to keep his cool. Hey, he's a professional. What can I say? Surroundings, you're not going to let me investigate. All right, Ayame Tono. I wonder what her intentions are. How is she able to act like nothing happened? Is this just how girls are these days? This is not a youth thing, Haru. Come on. All right, let me just double check. Scrolls. Yeah. All right. Anyways, I should ask about her side of the story. Yeah. Cool. All right. Start talking. Well, it's just like I said, right? The female hostage mentioned on the news just now. That must have been you. Which means you killed Nejima with your own curse stone? Ha! Well, you said you'd give me refuge, so I came to take you up on that offer. What are you planning? Me? Well, obviously, I'm on to my last resort. Huh. What last resort? You're a curse bearer. You have been this whole time. You lied to us. You think people can do that? Just go onto the streets of Japan in the middle of a cursed death game and tell lies? Unseemly. Churlish. So, you're a curse bearer with a curse stone too, right? Heh. Are you surprised? Yes, I have a curse stone of my own. It's the Taiko of Tsugaru. Alright, so it's accounted for. Then why go after other people's curse stones? Because killing is bad, you know? Don't you think so too? I do love how they, like... Some characters are very much just like, immediately, we can't do this, we can't use the curse stones, we've got to find a way around this. But then other characters, oh, she's quirky. Yeah, no, she's like a quirked up art student in the 80s, in 80s Japan. Like, we got some real... Wasn't she hanging out with Footwasher guy? Yeah. Absolutely she was. She knows more than she's letting on, absolutely. She also might be possessed. Keep that in mind. Some characters are just like, no, yeah, so we immediately need to kill everyone, right? Obviously, that's the path. They just don't hesitate at all. There's no compunctions, there's no hesitations. She's secretly the villain, in my opinion? Maybe. Possessed, so the ghost thing's talking like this is hip. That's funny. But then how would a ghost know what is hip? Like, to even try and sound hip. That's my thing. If she is secretly the villain, that would line up with a bunch of things. It's not outside the realm of possibility. I think it's still open. She took a magazine quiz, just like going around watching TV shows. Yeah. Picking up like the local slang. Also, like when a person gets possessed, they've talked about this a couple times. It's not like a total brain takeover. Like, it's not like a personality... It's not like a brain transplant. It's like the spirit's drives and memories and powers kind of, like, invade your mind and coexist with it. So, like, it's hard to sort of tell the one from the other. So I don't think, you know, if Ayame... Obviously, Ayame was a personality. It's more like intent, memories, will... Like, it's less of a personality replacement and more of a personality mixing. At least in the mythology of this game. The way I understand it, at least. I love it. Just, because killing is bad, you know? Don't you think so? I think so. Sure. You're right. It's wrong to kill people for the sake of resurrection. Right? And it's not even 1-for-1, so it's hardly a fair exchange. Either way, that's why I wanted to use... that's why I wanted to only use soul dregs gathered by others. But that didn't work out in the end. I compel you to kill this man. Exactly. And that's sort of what happens with the curse stones generally, like the murderous intent, the resentful memory invading our minds. Like, it's a kind of pretty consistent, unified system of supernatural powers in this game. I've got to give them credit for that. Though exactly why resurrection or like reincarnation as a baby is out of the bounds of plausible things, I don't know. Whatever. You got to draw the line somewhere, I guess. No one had the backbone to use their curse. The world's gone soft. See, now that sounds like something that an ancient person would say. With no one mercilessly using their curse in pursuit of their own goals, I had to take matters into my own hands. I heard Namigaki, that young man you were with, used his curse stone too? Huh? How do you know that? Ick, creepy much? Are you stalking me? I may have heard it from a detective I know. Ugh, there it is. Cops. Bet you know a bunch. I know your type. People who boast just because they know a couple of cops. But the police is filled with nothing but scum. My, you seem to hold quite a grudge against the force. Evil villainous type of reaction? Yeah. Also kind of like a, not an uncommon reaction amongst art students. It could go either way. Art students are not typically known to be particularly sympathetic to the cops. Speaking of, this guy's really creeping me out. Yeah, hippie art student too. Yeah, it's the 80s. She's an art student, kind of quirky. It's not inconceivable that Also, when were the student revolts happening? That was earlier than this, I think, but some of that sentiment still might be floating around in the public consciousness somewhere. So, who knows? What's the deal with him anyway? You gonna explain? Even the way he moves is all weird and exaggerated. Right. I haven't introduced myself yet. No, thank you. Okay, so apparently she doesn't want to hear that from me. Time to go. Thank you for the stream and have a good rest of your day. I salute you, Kixie. Have a good rest of your day as well. Best of luck with the stream. Hope everything goes smoothly. Hope you score many successes. Hope you see many great indie games. And as always, stay true to yourself, my friend. She senses he's the man. Yeah, no, there's definitely she trusts the girl's girl, the girlies more than the. I mean, okay, even if she wasn't a girl's girl, I feel like if you were confronted with this, I don't think you would be particularly trusting. Really, like, okay, just put yourself in the mind space. Even if you were in, like, a relatively safe and stable society, you come across this character. Are you trusting him? I don't think you're trusting it. Look at this guy. Even if he's not nefarious, there's something odd about him. As a player, he's cool, but realistically, he is odd. He is an odd duck, to be sure. I can't say that I blame her for... Yeah, it's her side of the story, sure. I can't blame her for being suspicious of Richter. I mean, I was suspicious of Richter the first time that I encountered him as Shogo. Like, he's a suspicious guy. You're a curse bearer. So, what were we talking about again? Oh, right, Yutaro Namagaki. He's no good, honestly. He was such a wuss. I had to spur him on so many times for him to even use his curse. And even then, he was pissing his pants. Okay. No, I'm starting to see it now. I'm starting to see Lordling's, his read of this situation. There's definitely a lot of language here that could be, like, an evil, ancient practitioner of these supernatural arts. Manipulator, gaslighter, hippie, the trifecta, the three genders. And just when I take my eyes off him, he hands over his curse stone to someone. Honestly, he's a disappointment. And she was like, nah, I'll never kill anyone for culpability. I'll just goad on someone else to do it. That doesn't hold up. That doesn't hold up in court, right? Like, that doesn't hold up. Like, you are implicated in that, at the very least. Maybe not for murder, but, like, I don't know. That's got to have some kind of legal liability, surely. Well, it's the Japanese justice system. Who knows? So that's what happened. Which is why I figured I had to have to do it myself if I wanted to get it done right, you know? She's the real demon compelling people to kill, not the stone. Yeah, maybe the stones don't actually do that. Maybe that's the influence of a sorceress. A medium. Do it, kill him. That's a good emote. Is that one of C's emotes? Yeah, that's a really good emote. Thumbs up, Sivari. That's what my last resort is. Collecting soul dregs on my own. Okay, so the murder is bad thing kind of went out the window, didn't it? That didn't take long. Or much. Let me introduce myself. It's hard to talk as strangers. Is it? And are you okay telling me who you are? Well, I won't stop you. Do as you please. She started strong and then was like, oh, guess I'm killing now. Still, you know, as fucked up as it is to say, still more inhibition than Shogo Okie. Shogo got the power and was immediately like, all right, where's the 9 people I need to kill? Let's line them up. I don't got all night. I need to bring back Yoko. I had originally thought that, like, the murderous intent was way stronger. But seeing as all the other characters have managed to more or less resist it the entire time, I kind of think that Shogo is just ready to kill. Unless it's the case that the Whispering Canal is the resentful memory that belonged to the rival medium from way back when. Then maybe his murderous intent is like way stronger. It could compel somebody much more strongly. Yeah, considering we know how it is now, it was a tad bit too unhinged. Yeah. Well, I won't stop you. Do as you please. See, the danger of this is that if she does have the one-sided read, any information that Haru reveals to her is like ammunition for the one-sided read curse power. So this is potentially hazardous. Not that Haru would know that. Huh? Well, I am Haru Shigima, and this is my house. My father and husband are both with the police. Oh, yeah, no. She's killing people now. And we're giving her a bunch of information that she can use to kill us. Is that so? Then you know that cops are just the worst people, right? Okay, IMA, this is bold. This is a little bold. You know that her husband and father work with the police. She clearly has a family connection to the police, and you're just like, oh, so you know that they're shit, right? I feel like that's a bold move. Your husband and father suck, right? Yeah, exactly. The man that you love, hate him, right? Right? Well, there are certainly many who are cold, especially with their own family. In a police family, one is always expected to just grin and bear it, no matter what happens. God, I know, right? Oh, no, this is true, because IMA also comes from a police family. What a relief. You understand. I think we might get along. Oh? Well, I'm glad then. And I'm Richter Kai, private investigator. Did I ask? But, you're an investigator? To be honest, it's kind of an off-the-wall idea to tell the girl who just told you that police suck that they're your family. Yeah, IMA's approach to this has been a little bit strange. Is she the woman with the abusive husband, or is that somebody else? No. This is, the daughter of Tsutsumi. This is the reincarnated, or, you know, the supposedly reincarnated lover/baby that was adopted and then I should be more careful. Lover that was reincarnated into a baby that was then adopted by the police. This is his daughter. Yeah, absolutely. So she also comes from a police family, and so that resentment is perhaps a bit personal for her. It's not just that she's a hippie art student. She is also the daughter of a police officer, so that resentment might be a bit more personal than she's letting on. So your job is to sneak around and follow people to pry into their secrets, right? Oh, is that why you keep probing with all these questions? Ew. Guess there's not much I can do to change the terrible impression you got of me. This is his daughter. She could be in her rebellious phase, but that's hilarious. I don't know. She's in college. I don't know how... I feel like the rebellious phase doesn't last that long in Japanese society. Though, I don't know. It's the 80s. I'm not Japanese. My impressions come from movies and television. Hey, lady, why are you working with this dude? I asked him to look into something for me. Really? It's just that he keeps looking this way. Well, yeah, we're sitting over here. Yeah, her side of the story. Introductions. Isn't your father a police officer as well? That man is not my father. Not in name or deed. Sounds like there's some bad blood there. I've already legally cut all ties. He even had the nerve to act all high and mighty today, and still refused to help me. Oh, she knows. She knows something, at the very least. She knows that she's adopted. You met him today? Yes, today. Remember that Chief Tsutsumi who was chasing Nejima? Well, that's him. My dad. What? You're his daughter? Former daughter. I've cut ties. He's never acted like a father, so he didn't deserve the title. You know, I heard something about that Nejima guy. Apparently, he wanted to get revenge on Chief Inspector Tsutsumi for his arrest by going after his daughter. Wait, really? And I heard the police had been searching non-stop to take you into protective custody. So that explains why the police were staking out your place, too. Man, how could I have known that? They came in such intimidating numbers. Wait, huh? Hold on a minute. Doesn't that mean that Nejima was specifically after my life today? That sounds about right. It's a good thing you got out unscathed, or rather, managed to turn the tables on him. Oh. That means legally speaking it was self-defense. But that truly was quite frightening. That's a weird thing to say at this time and moment. I don't know. Maybe she was feeling guilty about it, but that feels weird considering what she's about to do. Or what her last minute or her backup plan is. To think I'd have to go through this just for being related to a cop. It's a disgrace. Haru does empathize with that. It truly is. To cause their own child such trouble. I'm sorry. It's okay. You're not the one that needs to apologize, lady. I'm sorry. It just reminded me of what happened to my son. Your son? What happened? God, she has such an evil face. It's so sinister. My child was also kidnapped and murdered in order to enact revenge against the police, you see. What? How awful. That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Now that you say it, I do remember hearing about an incident like that last year. The sinister but melancholy look. Yeah, that's a very... I see that a lot in Japanese media. I don't see that as much over here. It's weird that there's, like, local tropes. That must have been your son, huh? My condolences. Alright, we're still talking. You used a curse stone. So, when you were taken hostage by Nejima, you used the curse stone in the gardens and swiftly made your getaway? Well, yeah. I didn't really have time to think on it. At the time, I only thought of how to get out of there. Okay, realistically speaking, the fact that she was like, oh, because he meant to kill me, my killing him was self-defense. Realistically, if you're a hostage, if you're kidnapped, and you kill your kidnapper, does that not already count as self-defense? I don't know, maybe it could be argued that you had like a duty to retreat or something, but like, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anybody who's a lawyer, but I feel like no jury would convict you for killing your kidnapper to escape, right? Like, it was still self-defense, but maybe she felt bad for stealing his soul specifically. I don't know. Maybe there's guilt associated with it. I mean, that could be said of anyone who would have to kill their kidnapper. There may still be guilt associated with the act of killing someone. But I think, like, legally speaking, that would still count as self-defense. I don't know. Maybe there's lawyers who could debate it. I'm sure any good lawyer could debate it. It's just a matter of would they be right. Then what about now? Could you use it again? Your curse stone? Well, the curse stone doesn't respond during the day, but it's evening now. So I tried using the curse just now, and yep, it seems I activated it. What? You're using it now? It might still be a little weak. I guess it's not supposed to be used repeatedly. But I think I could get it to work once more. Oh. That's so. Sure is, so I'll give you a final warning. It's already started, so be careful, It's started? What started? The curse, of course. All that's left is for the conditions to be fulfilled. All right, no, this the posing, the like sneaky eyes. You don't get plausible deniability, miss. Killing people is wrong anymore. All right, you are fully into this. Calm down, ma'am. If using a curse, one would target a curse bearer. No, I wasn't worried about you, Richter. I'm looking for advice. She activated her curse? The curse stones can be used already? I let my guard down. I didn't think it could be used this early in the evening. Ma'am, please calm down. What should I do? Should I keep her talking? Oh, boy. Which curse stone? No, instead of talking about that, how about we talk about why you're so shaken? As I thought, you have a curse stone too. You're a curse bearer, aren't you, lady? I'm gonna stay silent. Ah, there we go. Huh? Staying silent is the... Oh, refusing to answer a question, maybe? Huh? Ma'am! Damn! Did she fulfill the conditions? She sure did. Okay, time for a beatdown. Jeez, why did you try to hide it now of all times? It wouldn't have come if you weren't a curse bearer. Okay, so, that was the wrong move. Ah! Stop! Too bad. She's already dead. This is horrific. Why are we still seeing this if she's already dead? I'll be taking her curse stone. Whoa. Huh? Are we alive? Still? Did she kill us for souls, or did we do something wrong? Well, I mean, her last resort is, like, using her curses to murder people to get soul dregs. So she's on the murder path now. The question is, like, what conditions did we fulfill? And I'm not 100% sure on it. But also, are we not dead? No. Okay, she just took it. All the haunting clappers needed was a source of fire? That was a close one. Now then, what will you do, Mr. Investigator?
No.
You're not a curse bearer, so I don't have any reason to kill you. But I won't show you mercy if you're going to try and capture me. So what'll it be? I still don't know how her curse works. It's too risky to make a move. Your employer's already dead anyway, so there's no reason for you to go out of your way to arrest me, right? I could still do my duty as a citizen and report you, you know. Oh, what a surprise. This is when you decide to suddenly choose the side of righteousness? Is this so you can metagame? It might be so I can metagame. She was after the same thing, you know. There's no clean hands when it comes to soul dregs. Well, it looks like you don't have anything to say about that. I'll be taking my leave then. Bye-bye. All right. Oh, this is an ending. Upon killing Haru Shigima, a fellow curse-bearer, Ayame Tono obtained more than enough soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. However, it turned out that resurrecting someone who died a long time ago required an even larger amount. To fulfill her heart's deepest desires, she'd need to harvest more. So, she waited for the sun to set, for when the Feast of Shadows effects were at its peak. And she used the one-sided reed curse stone she had stolen from Fumichika Nejima. With it, she proceeded to kill all those whose personal information she knew, starting with all those who mattered least to her. About the one-sided reed. Kills by dismemberment one whose face, address, name, occupation, and location are all known by the curse bearer. Many of them were random men, gullible and disposable, drawn in by the allure of a female university student. This is so bad ending coded? Yeah, no, we've had a couple of these so far. So Death Note, yeah, the one-sided read is like, basically it's Death Note, but you need more information. You need face, name, occupation, and address, I think is what they said. Face, name, occupation, address, and location. One noteworthy victim among them was Tetsuo Tsutsumi, who, being a curse-bearer himself, was promptly targeted for his soul dregs. Tsutsumi's death threw the investigation efforts into disarray, allowing Ayame to evade capture. Afterwards, she acquired various address registers and phone books and systematically killed the people listed in them. Unsuspecting victims could be safe at home, only to suddenly have their limbs severed. The strange deaths shook society to its core. Tsutsumi is her dad, yeah. That's the older police officer. Credits, woo! We did it! It's quite intense, yeah. I'm gonna let these play out just in case there's something relevant after the credits to be seen here. Oh, she's laughing. She's chuffed about it. There was also no mention in that entire epilogue about her being possessed, so I don't know. Maybe they just didn't say anything about that, or maybe she's not actually possessed. We don't even know who she's resurrecting. We do, actually. It's the dumbest one. She wants to resurrect a famous artist from like 1,000 years ago. But all things must come to an end, and so, in time, the killings stopped. Yeah, no, she's, like... Didn't I say she was a villainess? Even if she's not possessed, she is kind of a villainess. Sometime after the killings, a modern-day genius female ukiyo artist burst onto the art scene. She introduced herself as the mysterious Mad Paintress, and her fame grew quickly as she presented one incredible work after another. Praised as the modern reincarnation of Katsushika Hokusai, that's the artist, she quickly made her own mark on history. Hold on a second. Would the rite of resurrection only bring back their spirit for possession? Because this, I'm fairly certain this artist was... Did she get possessed by the artist? Yeah, that's what I'm asking, is... Does the rite of resurrection not actually, like, resurrect them as a full, like, flesh and blood human? Does it just make your personality possessed by theirs? Or did she just hold them hostage? It's possible. That would be extra fucked up. And not beyond the pale for her, frankly. That is a decent possibility, actually, is that she's just holding the artist hostage. So on top of all of IMA's aspirations, ending 4, yeah. So on top of all the murder, she's also potentially guilty of plagiarism. All right, so that was a dead end. We can try that again. Admits to being a curse bearer. That's the ticket. Curse stones can be used already. I let my guard down. Didn't think it could be used this early in the evening. What should I do? Should I keep her talking? Yeah, I think it doesn't matter what question we ask. Curse stone 2. A curse bearer, aren't you, lady? Now, if I say yes... Oh, interesting. So that didn't... So is it just refusing the question? Let me go back and look at the Taiko of Tsugaru real quick. 7 mysteries. The Taiko of Tsugaru. A daimyo from the Hirosaki domain in Tsugaru who built a residence in Midoricho on a large piece of land. Almost 8-meter-tall tower that served as a lookout for fires. Only a designated firefighter was allowed to use the large drum that resided atop the tower in the event of a fire. Use wooden blocks to sound the fire alarm. For some reason, the residence was permitted to use drums. The residence and its special privileges led to much speculation and gossip among the townsfolk. All right, that's not that much info. Yes, I am. I'm sure you've already noticed. Well, yeah. Around last night, it was a little too obvious. Okay. So she knows our address, she knows our location, she knows our face, she knows our name, she knows our occupation, actually. Does she know our occupation? I don't know. That's a little ambiguous. What is our occupation? Housewife? Let me check, actually. Sorry to keep dipping into the files over and over again, but what is her occupation? Harushigima. Occupation, housewife. Okay. So she might not know that yet, but she knows name, face, location, address. All she would need is occupation for her to be able to just kill us with a one-sided read. I'm guessing you've got the haunting clappers. Yes, that's right. There's a lot of soul dregs on the table for killing a curse bearer, you know. I'm well aware. Did you get soul dregs when you killed Neijima? Of course. His curse stone already contains some soul dregs as well. I think killing one more curse bearer will be enough for the rite. You can combine soul dregs across several stones? Correct. All it needs is the prerequisite amount. As long as you've got that, it doesn't seem to matter where you get them from. I see. Then... you won't mind if I took them, right? My lady. You're quite motivated, aren't you? Ma'am? Okay. Her father? Tobacco? What? Nejima, her desire, negotiate. Use curse. What? Does she have a thing of fire on her? Oh, no, that's true, because she did say it was a close call. All right. What is your wish, Ayame? Is it really to resurrect Katsushika Hokusai? Maybe give her a fire source? Oh. She might be a smoker. It's the 80s in Japan. There's actually a really decent odds that she's a smoker. Yes. There's no life that holds more value than his. Remember, kids, smoking kills. So I'm deliberately avoiding using the curse on her. Including my own. You're saying you'd be willing to die if it meant bringing Hokusai back to life? Not all life is equal. All right, what happened to killing is wrong, ma'am? Your ideology is all over the place. At least, not to me. Do you think she used her own soul as the last one for the artist? I mean, she wouldn't have needed to. She's got, like, this mass... this curse stone with the ability to cause mass death. Like, I don't think it would really be necessary. A life that can birth art with the power to move hearts is infinitely more worthy. Compared to that, the life of someone like me, someone that can't produce a thing, has no value. I guess so. I'm also just sort of thinking in real time. That's unhinged. From you, Haru. All right. I'm still young. It's the age for wild thoughts. But aren't you the same as me? Most accurate statement yet, straight up. You are unhinged. You are nuts. What? You've got a life more important than your own. A life you consider more important than the lives of many others. That's what you're doing it all for, isn't it? I want you to know I could have killed you like 5 times already. You're right. If I can save my son, I couldn't care less about my life, or the lives of others. Who's unhinged now? I'm a mother. It is what it is. Yeah, no, I feel like that's a fairly different situation. Like, a mother being willing to kill for her child is a very different from, like, you wanting to bring back an artist. Both of them. Both are unhinged. Nobody is hinged. Dang. The feelings of a proper parent or something else. Her father? Your father, the chief inspector. I met him not too long ago. Oh, really? He came off a little stiff and awkward. There's a surprise. But there was something charming about his seriousness, and he seemed like he cared a lot about his daughter. Please cut it out. It's gross. You don't know a thing about us. Outsiders shouldn't butt into other families' or another family's affairs. Though he may as well be a stranger to me now. Even if you've cut legal ties, you're still related by blood. Huh? We're not related at all. Huh? Everyone's just confused. He probably thought that I never noticed it, but it wasn't hard for me to figure out that I wasn't related to them by blood. So you were adopted? Well, I got curious, so I looked into it. It was all pretty straightforward. I was a baby when they took me in. All they did was raise me. My mother first got pregnant shortly after she married. but it was a stillbirth. Huh. And, yeah, no, like, all they did was raise me for my entire life. The whole affair left a deep wound on her heart. My father couldn't bear to see it. So it was for her sake that he did it. I was a substitute, a replacement for the child she lost. He decided that all by himself. He didn't discuss it. Maybe he was trying to be thoughtful. So any baby would have been fine, as long as it could have comforted the woman who hoped to become a mother. I wouldn't say that's accurate. Nah, maybe she doesn't know about the whole, like, Nejima side of it. Because remember, he never told her that. No one wanted the reincarnated lover baby? I mean... yeah. That's a kind of an awkward situation, no matter how you slice it. I don't think so yet. No, I don't think she ever knew about the Nejima side of it. Putting it in such a way. It's not easy to raise a child. My mother was bewildered. Wouldn't you be? After being told to raise a baby that wasn't your own? But she couldn't just abandon the baby either. Yet my father just left everything to my mother and never lent a hand. He is so damn selfish. So she has this skewed perception. I mean, it's entirely possible that he was sort of, like, not terribly involved as a parent, so... I don't see anything that's, like, outright contradicting what we know so far. I think she was bewildered because of where you came from, but yeah. Well, maybe he never even told his wife. I mean, like, who besides him even knows that she came from the Nejima case? Like, I have no idea how deep that secret went. He probably could have done better. I think probably for sure. Huh. The two of them grew apart. I watched them try to figure out how to understand each other, and the sight of it disgusted me. His current partner doesn't know, but I think he's new. Yeah, no, his current partner is relatively new. I mean, he's young, so he's at least newer. It was a messed up family, I tell you. Well, I guess my presence was to blame for that rift to begin with. You shouldn't say that. I know he's bad at expressing himself and has his work, but still, that shouldn't be an excuse. But knowing all that, I couldn't take it anymore. It just made me want to hurry up and leave home and live on my own. I still rely on him for tuition and allowance, but that much is normal for most kids, right? Alright, hold on, IMA. Hold on a second here. Methinks you're trying to have your cake and eat it too a little bit. Cutting him off, not legally your father anymore, but you're still relying on him for tuition and allowance? That feels a bit of a double standard, methinks. I don't want him to start acting like he's my father now just because he's doing the minimum. I'm sorry to hear that. Miss, I cut him off legal and name-wise, but I'll still take the money, IMA. Yeah, alright. Alright, IMA, I see your game. Miss, I'm willing to take... I cut him off in legal and name-wise, and am willing to kill him in an alternate timeline with a curse power, but I'll still take his money. Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds like it was tough for all of you. I'm sorry. You're right. It's not my place to talk about your family. Ah, well, I may have said too much. To think I spilled all that when I don't even know what the conditions are. Could it be that could it be what we were talking about had something to do with the activation conditions for the haunting clappers? Who knows? We'll go back to her desire. But if that's your wish, then what do you plan on doing if you don't get your wish? Oh, I haven't thought of it. I might just keep on trying to bring Hokusai back some other way. You really are obsessed. You and Hihaku's chairwoman might be cut from the same cloth. Who's that? She's like an all-powerful vortex of obsession turned to yokai-level proportions. Unhinged. I think this... unhinged kind of covers this entire conversation, I think. You're saying I'll end up like her? Are you looking forward to such a future? I'd rather not have to wait till I'm old and creaking. I want it to happen now. Still more on desire. I'll put my life on the line for Hokusai. Alright, fine. Neijima. What? Yeah, this is good. What do you know about Neijima? How did you kill Fumichika Neijima? I'm not telling you. I only ask because it does concern me. He was one of the reasons my child was kidnapped. What's the point of cursing her during her desire? Yeah, like, we've had this curse option, because, like, she's clearly got something on her that creates fire. Probably a lighter. So, we've had the option this entire time. He was one of the reasons my child was kidnapped. There's not much to say. We talked, and he cleared the conditions for my stone. Did he show any signs of remorse over his past crimes? It didn't feel like he did, no. I see. The world is full of trash men, I tell you. Bro gave up his occupation and location to her? No. That was originally his power. That was how he was going to commit mass murder at sundown, is he, like, apparently had, you know, records and registered. He essentially was already in the works of doing the thing that she eventually did. So, we don't know what the conditions for her curse power are. She took it from him when she killed him. I'm just not totally clear on what the conditions are for her original power, the Taiko of Tsugaru. I think it has to be something with, like, not answering a question. That's my current thinking. I agree. Richter is silent. So tell me more what you know about Neijima. In a way, I guess you could say you put a stop to Neijima's mass murder schemes. About that. Maybe lying to her, so maybe that's why she's saying men suck. I mean, yeah. Could be lying. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's lying. But is silence lying? Because that's what I chose last time. I didn't choose, no, I don't have a curse stone. I just chose to stay silent. Would that count as a lie? I don't know. I feel like it's got to be related to a question. Of, like, not answering truthfully or something. No, but that... Hold on. Where's the files? Gameplay guide. No. From a Curses. 7 Mysteries. That's what I'm looking for. What was it? The Evergreen Beach? There's one curse power that lets you kill somebody... Yeah, kills by hanging the one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. That's something that's owned by Tsutsumi right now. Because Haru did say who knows instead of a yes or no in this run and is still alive. In this run, she said yes. In this run, I just answered her question, yes, I have a curse stone. So this is weird. That would be an extremely similar curse power. I don't know. Maybe it's something like refusing to talk to somebody, like staying silent to somebody. I don't know. I don't think I'm fully grokking this curse power yet. There's no guarantee that I won't do it myself. Okay, so... I would like to take a screenshot of back when she said, killing is wrong, you know. I think you're full of shit. I picked up his curse stone of the one-sided reed. It really is something else. Unfortunately, I can't use a curse stone that's not mine until it's late at night. Really? Are you okay with telling me that? Ah, how silly of me. I let that slip. Teehee. Ever since that statement, she's gone back on it. Yeah, no, I'm somewhat skeptical now of her initial claim. Do you smoke? That was not an accident. It could be false information. Huh? Well, a little. Yeah, I mean, she's a college student in Japan in the 80s. There's like a 50% chance that you smoke. Feel free to smoke if you want to, please. I'm okay. I don't see any ashtrays out on display either. Shing curse. Does no one smoke in this family? A little rare, isn't it? Nobody in the family does. Richter is just watching this whole thing go down. Then why did you ask me if I did all of a sudden? Well, Alright, so we might have just given away that information. Listen, Ayame. I have something to ask you. No. The answer is no. The curse stone in your possession, I'm not giving it up. You're right. We're both made of stronger stuff than that. You're not giving it up. And neither am I. You know full well, right? What do I know full well? That there's no room left for negotiation here. You're right. There's not. There's no room left for negotiation here. You're right, there's not. Okay, so I kind of have to kill her, I guess. Ah. Did you try to use your curse just now? It seems I didn't meet your curse's conditions. I wonder if it was smart to secretly toss the lighter I was carrying earlier. All right, you know shit. You know shit. Kind of weird having to curse her to proceed canonly. No, okay, hold on. She might. She's the villainess? Maybe. Huh? When did... You made a mistake when you decided to ask me about smoking. If a source of fire is the condition for your stone, then you won't see me falling for it now. Huh? You wasted your chance with all this chatter. All you needed to do was activate your curse first. I brought everything Nejima had on him, including the lighter he was holding. Well, we have an ad in 3 minutes. Everybody brace yourselves for that. Huh. But it's over now. Yes, I concede. Are we still negotiating? Alrighty. With your cards on the table, you're out of options. It might be possible for Mr. Investigator there to pin me down by force. But he's not going to do that, is he? Correct. I won't take that risk, not while your curse's conditions are unknown. Coward. I came to kill you and acquire your soul dregs, but after hearing you out, I got a question for you. Why don't you just give up on the right of resurrection? I think we curse her, then you can negotiate, but I'm not sure where this is going. I don't know, because I feel like if you curse... Why can't I still use curse? That's weird. I feel like if you curse her, it just sort of automatically does it, though. Yeah, it's because of the tobacco question or earlier. Um, I'm also thinking there might be a point where we can go earlier in the scene to like not reveal to like before we did introductions. Because if we just don't give her our name, then her curse power, at least on the one-sided read, is not usable. Give up on the right of resurrection. Huh. You said it was your son, right? The one you want to bring back? But haven't you done enough? I'm sure your son is content knowing you cared for him this much. She did say it's too early to be able to use the read. Yeah. But she might have been lying, is the thing. Let me check something. Hold on. What do we know about the one-sided read? A one-sided read. Oh, so that didn't make it into our files. Interesting. I'm truly willing to die to resurrect Hokusai, but you can't say the same, right? Huh? If you're going to bring your son back, you have to be alive as well, right? In fact, what you really want is for both of you to live, right? Yes. Well, even if you both live to see it, your son would grow up knowing you for who you are, someone who stole the lives of others to bring him back. Would you be putting the burden of shouldering all the lives sacrificed for him on his little shoulders? Are you really okay with that? No, she's definitely manipulative. Maybe the mom did need to hear this convo, that's for sure, but she's definitely manipulative. Because, like, what are you talking? You're bringing back a painter. What are you doing? If you didn't even think about that, then what you're doing is not for your son. It's for yourself. Aren't you just bringing him back to fulfill your own desires? That's not... And there's the ad. All right. I'm going to take a quick hydration here while the ad happens. Lobster Fest. Oh, hell yeah. All right, so I'm assuming that you got a Lobster Fest ad. Unless you just compulsively shout Lobster Fest at random intervals. Honestly, I didn't even know that Red Lobster was still operating. I thought they got gutted by private equity. That's not... Ma'am, what she's saying may be harsh, but holds a kernel of truth. Don't reduce yourself to nothing but a mother who would sacrifice anything to her son, for her son. But that's not... Michael Jackson, hello Dids! Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, this is Richter Kai, who very much has a Michael Jackson look going on. How are you doing today, man? How's it going? You're just in time for potentially some kind of murder or another. But that's not... We discovered the truth behind his kidnapping. Terrible, I gotta do this thing called work. Oh, that sucks. Work is the worst. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you the murderer? In more than one instance, yes. Every player character in this game has the potential to be a murderer at various points throughout the game. The very first character that you play as is is the worst murderer we have seen in this game so far, and that's including the mass murderer. Did you actually kill people? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With a curse power. We did it many times. Or did you go no? So, okay. I did it accidentally once or twice because the game made it seem like you had to. But you don't actually, and ever since I learned that, I have been not doing it. But even when I chose not to kill in the initial character's storyline, the character did it anyway. The character ignored my ignoring and went on to kill people. So the characters can have a mind of their own in this game. It's very interesting. You should take some time to come understand your own feelings. I'll help you every step of the way. Getting to the heart of things is what an investigator does. And they went, nah, and then fired. But with a curse stone instead of a gun. I wonder if there's a gun-shaped curse stone. What will you do? Ma'am, if you relinquish the curse stone to a curse bearer, you will no longer be a curse bearer. You won't be a target anymore. IMA is giving you a chance. Think hard, and then give your answer. Because, okay, if we relinquish our curse stone to her, then she's going to have 3 curse stones. She is eventually going to meet up with her father again, who has, like, I don't know, 5 curse stones? That would just leave the Whispering Canal, which, again, I am convinced is in the possession of Yoko. So, this is sort of... Giving up the curse stone is sort of the option that converges the curse stones together most effectively. Do we even need our curse stone? I mean, if we're not going to try and bring our son back, then no. No, we don't. And this is also probably the best option for her character, for her as a person. So yeah, I don't... My one hesitation... Yeah, no, you've clocked it, Jazz. The only issue is that she might kill... Not she might, she will. She is going to kill people. We know this from the other timeline. Let's give up the curse stone. Very well. Here. All right. Moment of truth. Excuse me 1 second. I need to blow my nose. Ah, okay. I'm back. Sorry, something about this game is a lot of voice acting. It tends to, like... I get stuffy. I don't know. I'm sure she'll be normal. She's not normal. No, she's absolutely not normal by any stretch of the imagination. Thanks. Glad you could see reason. Ma'am, you made the right choice. Dang. You really didn't collect any soul dregs, huh? I promised myself that if I ever used it, it would be only once. But in the end, it didn't come down to numbers. So they only need to be carrying a flame? This seems pretty practical. Well, I'll be taking my leave then. There's no point in going after you for soul dregs, so I'm off to the next curse bearer. Do you know who remains? You speak as if you've already figured it out. Man. I've got a pretty good idea from our talk. What will you do? Do you plan to stop me? Hmm. It is not my place to intervene. All right, then. Hey, lady, can I borrow your phone? I don't mind. But who are you calling? The cops. I think it would be faster if I called them directly. He's no Belmont. He's not a Belmont. If he whipped out like a long chain, like a kunai with chain right now, and just started whipping it around. It's like, oh shit, you actually are a Belmont. All right, I guess the police are coming here. See, that's interesting. That's really interesting because there's still more options here. That's really fascinating. I'm wondering if we take the option to not tell her our names, if that would have gone differently. I'm not sure. It's interesting. I might come back and try that again at some point if we're out of options elsewhere. So right now we've got the conclusion. Oh, it says conclusion actually. We've got that. That timeline isn't progressing. All of these are done. So that's like literally the only thing we have left to do. But I'm not convinced that's the ending, actually. I'm not convinced. All right. That seems like a good place to stop for today. I am going to... I'm not going to be streaming next week because my folks are coming into town. Conclusion, dad versus adopted daughter. Yeah, no, it's... I have to imagine that things are going to be going awry at some point during this conversation. So I'm not going to be streaming next week because my folks are coming into town and I'm hosting them. So we're going to be coming back to this in 2 weeks. Hopefully I haven't mistimed this horribly and this isn't actually the literal end of the game and we're just going to be playing for one scene. Hopefully there's a lot more to uncover here. I'm still feeling like there's more to uncover. If for no other reason, then I think there's... these are indicating that there's other options in these scenes. These green, not fully blacked out things. And there's still something involved with Yoko. I'm convinced of it. So I think there's still going to be more to do next time, which will be in 2 weeks. All right, so let's see who is streaming. Who is streaming? Who can we raid? Who's out there? No, not Discord. Twitch. Okay, who is streaming? Who is streaming? Baw's streaming. I haven't gotten a chance to raid Baw in a long time. That's an easy one for me. Easy. We're going to Baw. And she's playing Dishonored 2. That's a really good game. All right. I'm going to get the raid messages out. Oops. If I remember how to type. Raid. Get the message of your choice locked and loaded, ready for the raid. And I'm going to type in raid Baw Bunny. I'm sure I always get the capitalization confused. Baw Bunny. Ba-boom. All right. Thank you all very much for joining me for another episode of Paranormasight, The Seven Mysteries of Honjo. This is... God. I have been so pleasantly surprised by this game time and time again, over and over. It is truly a one-of-a-kind game. I'm excited to play its sequel eventually. But that I'm probably going to... I have a couple other games slated for after we finish this one. And then we have the next one. Yes. I'm probably going to take at least a one-game break before I go back into the Paranormasight series. I've got a couple other games in my library that I've been wanting to play. So we'll probably do one of those and then maybe come back to do Paranormasight. Who knows? The future is always in motion. But what's not in motion about the future is that I will be streaming again 2 weeks from now. This very same time, this very same place, 1 p.m. EST here on the DJ Atomica. I hope to see you all there. If not, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week, and as always, stay true to yourselves, everyone.